A beautiful night for baseball here in Fort Worth as we get set for college baseball here on ESPN+. Tonight, the TCU Horned Frogs host the Abilene Christian Wildcats. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chuck Lamondola along with my partner Connor Wanhan, and here as we get set for tonight's midweek matchup between these two rivals that are about 100 miles apart. Every time these teams get together, it's a tough ball game.
Yeah, a lot of close games between these two. Obviously, proximity. There's a lot of recruits that make their way to Abilene from the DFW area, so there's a lot of interlocking between these two programs.
Let's take a look at the offensive comparison between these two schools heading into tonight.
Yeah, you look at just batting average and hits, and pretty similar results for both of these teams, ACU and TCU, around the 250 mark with 80-plus hits, but the way that they're generating runs is a bit different. 21 homers already for the Wildcats. That's led by Grant Watkins. He's got 7 of his 10 hits have left the ballpark so far this year. Only 9 in that category for the Horned Frogs. But the big thing for TCU that sticks out, 27 of 32 in stealing bases. They had 20 last week against New Haven over the weekend. That has been a big area of focus for this TCU offense. Getting guys on base and moving them around to shift the defense will be really interesting to see how these two offensive approaches match up against each other.
Every time these two schools get together, it's a great ball game. We hope you'll stay with us. We've got the first pitch coming up right after this.
Nelson, 6 innings of work for him overall, 10 strikeouts to just 2 walks. He's commanded the zone well, coming off of his first career start last Monday against Loyola Marymount. Went 2 2/3 innings. Chuck got off to a great start, but then hit around a little bit in the 3rd inning of his outing. He's looking to maybe get a little bit more longevity here this evening.
Let's take a look at the lineup that he will face for the Wildcats tonight. This is a dangerous lineup in terms of home runs. You highlighted the fact they already have 21 so far this year. They're led by Zane Payne, who had a great weekend. 6 hits, 4 RBIs, a stolen bases, getting on at about a 400 clip here in the early going. You see the rest of the lineup there. Some names that, if you follow baseball in this area, you're probably familiar with as we get set for the first pitch of the night. This is down low for ball 1. Not a lot of stolen bases for this Abilene Christian team, just 6 in 8 tries. But you want to keep Payne off the base paths. He's got a couple of them. 2-0 count here on the Wildcat shortstop. Nelson deals a strike.
I can see the arm side run on the fastball there. And he's a guy that has controlled the strike zone early on in his collegiate career. Talk about just the 10 strikeouts to 2 walks alone. He's not afraid to be in there and not afraid of contact.
2-2 count as he fouls that one back to the screen. You saw the numbers on Payne there a moment ago. 3 home runs. That's 3rd on the team, but tonight it's going to be hard for a left-hander to get the ball out of here with the wind out of the south. Pitch all the way back to the backstop. A full count here to start the ball game. Kirk Sarlos was happy with the fact that he didn't have to use a number of his pitchers this weekend, so feels like he's got an entire bullpen pretty much ready to go for tonight's contest, and Nelson ends up hitting the batter to start the game.
Well, as we're talking about command, you see a pretty consistent approach there this first at bat for the freshman Cade Nelson, trying to go inside and had pulled a couple of those balls as well over the course of that at bat. Just pulled on this one a little bit too far with a 3-2 count. So it's just as you're talking about, Chuck, the leadoff man on, and with it being Zant Payne, he's not afraid to run. Would not be surprised at some point over the course of this at bat to see him try to go.
Nelson will have to work from the stretch here early in the game. Delivers a strike. First hit batter for Nelson this year. As you mentioned, he's been pretty good staying in the strike zone. He tries to settle in here. The shift is on for TCU with the lefty at the plate. In the dirt, Dallimore does a nice job to get the chest protector on it, keep it in front of him.
You know, for TCU overall, just trying to get into a little bit more of a rhythm in their midweek slate. A couple of games that have been roller coasters to say the least thus far. The first midweek game at Globe Life Field against UTA, allowing 9 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Had to come back from a 6-1 deficit last Monday. Looking for a little bit more of a what they would call a normal cadence here in these midweek contests, but it was all about getting off to good starts.
Good breaking ball that time from Nelson. He's ahead of Grant Watkins here. A ball and 2 strikes. Watkins leads the team with 7 home runs. He's the biggest home run threat in the lineup. Throw over chases Payne back to the bag. Cole Kramer getting the start over at first base. You saw him right there, second to go. So some changes for TCU. There's Kramer holding the runner on. So some changes for TCU defensively. We'll run through them here in a second. Tried to backdoor him, but missed. See the numbers on Watkins, just a .233 batting average with the 7 home runs and the 11 RBIs. It was after a pitch that looked like it might have been up. Well, 2-2 count here on Watkins. Throw over to first base, and Payne able to get back.
Horned Frogs defensively right now selling out for a ball on the ground on the right side. Lucas Franco, the shortstop, shifted almost to a true second base type position. Preston Gamster playing a true short, a third.
That pitch in on the fist, it turned on it, fouled it into the dugout on the first base side. He almost hit that ball behind him.
Well, you just talked about trying to get one out in the teeth of the wind. It certainly looks like Watkins going to give it the old college try.
Drop the back shoulder and try to hammer it to right field. That one fouled out of play off the left side. Well, Nelson having to work here in the first inning. He's already up to 13 pitches and has not gotten an out. Let's see what he dials up here. On the ground, one hopper right back to Nelson, who goes to second for the out. That's all they'll get. Franco kind of having to, Franco having to kind of come across in the opposite direction and no chance to try and turn it too.
Yeah, because of that shift, it's just an atypical alignment to try and turn a double play. This one also hits softly back to Nelson, but does a nice job of slowing his feet down. He gets his feet underneath him to make the strong throw to second base to just secure that lead out. At the very least, you're trying to secure a minimum of 1 out there. Can't afford to throw that ball into center field. So TCU gets the lead out. You got a chance now to get out of the inning with another ground ball.
Pitch taken up high by Nick Arias. Let's take a look at the TCU defense. Some changes. You see the outfield. Strohschneider's in center today with Brunson sliding over the right. Griffin in left field where he's been the last couple of ball games. This one's hit well to straightaway center. Strohschneider backpedaling, has plenty of time to get underneath it and makes the catch. So Gamster getting the start. Preston Gamster getting a start over at third. Lucas Franco back at short. Caius Gargett is at second tonight. Kramer, as I mentioned, sliding over to first with Dallimore getting the start behind the plate here in this midweek game. So 2 outs now with a runner over at first base, and a good job, Connor, by Cade Nelson to get back after hitting the first batter.
Yeah, you're making some adjustments here now. Still some work to do in this first inning, but certainly has it back on the train tracks.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch that time from Nelson.
See how much fade there is in that changeup, particularly against left-handed hitting Wildcats. Going to be a weapon for Cade Nelson as long as he's in the ball game.
Diego Cardenas, the senior, hitting .262. 4 home runs. Nice stop by Dallimore. Keeps the runner over at first base. Now, Payne does not look like he's wanted to go since he's gotten over to first base. Oh, excuse me, Watkins. Payne was erased on the ground ball. Out at second a moment ago. Watkins not a threat to steal. He hasn't attempted one this year, so that's probably why he hasn't looked like he wanted to go. Lined into center field. That's going to dunk in front of Strohschneider. We'll have to play it on a hop. Runners at first and second, 2 outs.
Go backbreaker here early. All right.
That's a pretty swing there for the senior Diego Cardenas. How much being on time for something that's running away from you a little bit, just runs right back into the barrel, lines it on a one hop to Strohschneider to keep this inning going. So Wildcats will have their first opportunity with a runner in scoring position now, 2 outs.
Opportunity for Ryan Jones to drive in a run here. Good pitch from Nelson. Started it off the plate, brought it back over the outside corner. See the numbers on the freshman. Up with an RBI opportunity here. Maybe the best pitch of the night there by Cade Nelson.
Yeah, breaking ball to start this at bat. And now that gives you the option to do whatever you want to do if you're Cade Nelson. You can go to the pitch that you feel most comfortable with. You don't have to necessarily be inside the strike zone either. You can try and get another chase. We saw the good changeup already. You've seen a couple of good breaking balls now, but you know, as a hitter, you've also got to honor the low 90s fastball that he brings with run as well. So this puts you in a tough spot when you see a couple of sliders there to start the AB.
A little pitch comp problem there for Brady Dallimore behind the plate. You can see him looking into the dugout. Jerk foul. Went inside with that pitch. And Jones pulled it off the facing of the dugout. Another 0-2 coming here from Cade Nelson. In the air, slicing foul. Griffin gave it a look, but ends up back by the Loudon Performance Center. No chance for Colton Griffin to make a play on it. Wind and the spin, carrying that ball well beyond the sidewall. So it stays no balls and 2 strikes. Jones doing a good job to keep the at-bat alive here and make Nelson throw a few more pitches, and Nelson comes back on an 0-2 pitch and hits him. Second batter at Cade Nelson's hitting this ball game, and the bases are loaded.
And you see they've both been on the same type of pitch where he just gets around it a little bit too much, you know, trying to potentially go to the back foot with that breaking ball, but a little short on it. And that's a frustrating one when you've thrown a couple of really good pitches in that at bat to put yourself in an 0-2 spot. Now instead you've got to deal with bases loaded.
They got a good look there at Kirk Sarlos walking back and forth in the dugout. He's not happy with what he's seen so far from Nelson. You can see as he jots down a few notes, the kind of look on his face.
You know, from a body language perspective, though, I think you look at Cade Nelson and has not seemed rattled or upset by either one of the hit bats, the single with 2 outs. And you see him just kind of shake it off a little bit, and you'll see if the freshman here can get back to his routine, see if he can't keep this a clean half inning.
This ball well hit to right field. Going back is Brunson. He's not going to be able to make the catch. It's off the wall. 3 runs are going to come home on the double to right field by Brady Gray. His first double of the year. He's now driven in 7. And just like that, the Wildcats are up 3-0.
We talked about this over the weekend, but these opportunities where you're late in innings and you've got traffic on them, a lot of times these games come down to just who gets the hit in one of those type of situations. And Brady Gray gets the first one of this evening with the bases juiced, putting that ball off of the base of the wall in right field into the teeth of the wind, as you've been talking about. With 2 outs, you got a runner that's moving on the swing there. So
all the way back to the backstop as that pitch missed high. That'll allow the runner Gray to advance over to third base. And that's where those free passes can get you in trouble in a hurry.
Yeah, you know, that's a saying that they always come back to bite you, the free passes. And a couple of opportunities there to get out of this first inning, and then the big blast just completely changes complexion of the ball game before the Horned Frogs even had a chance to come to the plate.
Close to 30 pitches now, also thrown by Cade Nelson here in the first inning, which means TCU is probably going to have to go to the bullpen earlier rather than later in this game. He's still not out of the inning. There's a runner over at third with 2 outs. Deals a strike here, and it's 2-1. And you mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, TCU has not been getting off to good starts in these midweek games.
Playing from behind in all 3 of them now by multiple runs.
Diving play made by Caius Gargett. Nice stop by Gargett to save a run, and that will do it, but not before the Wildcats take the early lead. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave a man stranded. We played a half inning from Lupton Stadium with a score. Abilene Christian 3, TCU coming to bat. Young will go to the mound here with the early lead.
Second start of the year for the right-handed sophomore. Just 2 innings of work for him and an 0-1 record. He's got a couple of strikeouts, has yet to walk a batter. You get a look at the action from Logan Young. Going to be somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of the time. Going to be a changeup. He's got a good one with a lot of fade, and expect him to test these TCU hitters with that slower stuff.
Let's take a look at the lineup for the Horned Frogs tonight. Is Kirk Sarlos making a few changes. We showed you on defense. Cole Kramer will lead things off. Leads TCU with 7 RBIs against New Haven over the weekend, followed by Strohschneider, Brunson, then Traeger, who's the DH tonight. Gargett, Dallimore, Franco, Gamster, and Griffin round out the lineup for the Horned Frogs here this evening. And for TCU, they're going to have to get their offense going early in this game to overcome the 3-0 deficit.
Well, we talked about it in the open, but just the styles between these 2 teams, it's been more of a power-heavy approach on the side of Abilene Christian. For TCU, it's been a lot of contact, speed game. Talk about the 20 stolen bases they had over the weekend against New Haven, but when you fall down from behind several runs, that makes you slow that pace down a little bit on the offensive side. Now, 3 runs with all 9 at-bats left to go for the Horned Frogs. You're going to play the game that you want to, but if you run the risk, if this deficit gets any bigger, now you've got to play more station to station. So look for TCU to get off to a good start offensively, try and claw back into this one early.
Cole Kramer leads it off and takes the first pitch low for a ball. Kramer hitting .289. He's without a homer, but he does have 10 RBIs. As we noted, 7 of them coming this weekend. Takes a strike. He looked more like himself in those big RBI situations over the weekend against New Haven. Not trying to do too much, just taking the ball the other way when he had an opportunity. 2-1 count on Kramer. Cole's seen a lot of baseball. Coming back for his 5th opportunity here. This one on the ground, bobbled by the second baseman Thompson, but he's able to stay with it and get the out over at first base. Well, Kramer hit it hard, but they were shifting up the middle a little bit. As we take a look at the defense for the Wildcats, Borjo, Regala, and Jones across the outfield. Arias and Payne on the left side of the infield. Thompson and Watkins on the right. And behind the plate, Brady Gray to go along with the starting pitcher, Logan Young. Missed inside. Sawyer Strohschneider at the plate. You know, Stroh got off to kind of a slow start, but look at the batting average, .355. He's tied for 5th nationally in walks. And you and I were impressed this weekend. He was not swinging at pitches outside the strike zone. He said, if you're going to walk me, then I'll just go down there.
Yeah, probably the most disciplined that we've seen him, and just understand that everybody that he saw over the course of the weekend was really intentionally staying away from him with secondary stuff.
Tries to go the other way here, and he shoots this one in the air to left field. Reese Borjo able to make the catch in medium depth left for the out. 2 up, 2 down for the Horned Frogs to start the bottom half of the first.
Rick McCarty in the ACU dugout has to be thrilled with what he's seeing so far. Couple of quick outs here after putting up 3 runs offensively. And, you know, how many times do we talk about it where an offense puts up a few runs and then you see a walk or hit batsman to immediately put some traffic out there on the base pass? But Logan Young just attacking the strike zone. And that's going to be his approach. Doesn't necessarily have a wipeout pitch, but he's going to let these Horned Frog hitters hit themselves into outs all over the field.
Rick McCarty, another former assistant at DBU. We'll see another one next week when Kansas comes in here for a midweek game. And they've done a nice job with their respective programs. A ball and a strike on Chase Brunson. Able to lay off that pitch going down and away. 2 balls and a strike on Brunson here with 2 outs and the bases empty. Chase trying to start things for the Horned Frogs here. Lays off another pitch in the dirt. .316 with a couple of homers for Brunson, including one here at Lupton Stadium.
Here you go, 1-5, I'm 10. Keep passing, George, here you go.
Takes the strike.
You know, so far in this first inning, more fastballs than this Horned Frog offense expected from Young. It's going to be about 87 to 90 miles an hour with some of that arm side run to it. See what he goes to full count.
Fouled out of play. Went back to the fastball. Got that one up to 89. TCU looking at the scouting report, like you said, expecting to see a lot more change-ups, and so far seeing the harder stuff. Good job by Logan Young to sort of pitch backwards from his scouting report. This one's well hit towards right center field, but Wynn knocks it down. An easy chance for Gallo to run underneath it and make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for the Horned Frogs here in the bottom half of the first. We'll move to the second inning with the score, Abilene Christian 3, TCU nothing. Top half of the second inning, Abilene Christian on top, 3-0. And Cade Nelson ended up throwing quite a few pitches in that first inning as he gave up the 3 runs in that frame. Ended up throwing 29 pitches and really could use a quick inning here in the second. Starts the number 8 hitter, JT Thompson, off with a strike. Thompson, the senior from Abilene, staying home to play his college baseball. Comes into the at-bat hitting .250. Nelson swinging that ball around, wanting a different pitch than he got in his pitch count. Missed inside. And again, he almost hit him. He's been pulling on that breaking ball down and in.
Yeah, you see just getting around it again a little too much. And yeah, that's 32 pitches into your start. You got a fresh slate here. You see if you start to work on that one a little bit more, test it.
92-mile-an-hour fastball in on the hands. Hit 2 batters in the first inning, which resulted in loading the bases before Brady Gray cleared him with the double off the wall, leading to the 3 Abilene Christian runs. Line towards left. Griffin drifting towards the line, makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down to start the second.
Well, that's great pre-pitch alignment for Colton Griffin out there in left field. Shifted a little bit towards that line, makes this an easier play with the breaking ball and the left-handed swing. Some real tail on it, but just has to go a few steps back, makes it look routine.
Colton Griffin last year played the infield, so kind of making an adjustment out to left field here this year. And more time he logs out there, the more comfortable you can see him getting. Chopped into the ground, foul. Center fielder Braden Regala at the plate. Just a 120 batting average for Regala. Got a play off the left side. Nothing in 2 the count here. Cade Nelson looking for a bounce back inning here after a rough first. Trying to get his team back in the dugout as quickly as possible. See if the offense can't get things going. This one's looped towards left field. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it ends up in foul ground. You can see Regala's approach here. He's just trying to put the fat part of the bat on the baseball. Not trying to do too much.
I can see particularly in the second half of this lineup, with a few switch hitters, you've got 8 of these Abilene Christian hitters that are hitting up from the left side right now with the right-handed throwing Nelson in the ball game. So you're seeing Colton Griffin shift over out in left field. So ready for that sort of slap type action. You see how much gap there is there in left center, but a handful of these balls already headed right that direction.
Out of play again off the left side. They spoiled a couple of good pitches from Cade Nelson here to keep the at-bat alive. Nelson looking for a pitch to finish him off. Breaking ball, strike 3. Good pitch from Nelson. Fooled him, and he could do nothing more than just stand there and take it for a strike.
Just does a nice job of just showing something different there on the outer half. Maybe a little bit higher than Nelson even wants to go with this pitch, but because it's far enough away, as a left-handed hitter, it looks like this pitch is off the plate, and the feeling is that it goes around the plate and it's curving back in, but that catches the outside corner. 2 quick outs for Nelson. It's exactly what he needed in a comeback second inning.
Fastball missed off the outside corner, ball 1. Andrew Fulton calling the balls and strikes tonight. Zant Payne, who led the game off, getting hit by the pitch, up for his second time. There's a race on the fielder's choice a little bit later on in the first inning. Dallimore trying to steal one there, put that one back up into the strike zone, but doesn't get the call from Andrew Fulton. That one crossed him up, went all the way back to the backstop. Didn't look like Dallimore was expecting that particular pitch. Well, a 3-1 count here to Zant Payne. Strike called right at the bottom of the strike zone. Full count.
You see, that's where a handful of the pitches to Zant Payne were going from Nelson in his first at bat. Ended up just going a little bit too far inside to hit him off the leg. But second time that he'll have a 3-2 opportunity.
In the air, right field. Brunson drifting towards the line. Plenty of time to camp underneath and make the catch. It's a 3 up, 3 down. Top half of the second inning for Cade Nelson and the Horned Frogs. Head to the bottom half of the second. 3-0 ACU. Bottom half of the second. TCU trailing 3-0 to the Wildcats. It'll be the middle third of the TCU batting order. Nolan Traeger in the DH spot tonight. We'll lead things off. It'll be Traeger, Gargett, and Dallimore for TCU against Logan Young, who only needed 14 pitches. And he's going to get it out here on the first one as Traeger skies this one to left field. Easy chance for Reese Borjo, and there's one away.
A lot of balls in the air tonight for both teams, and this that time of night that you start to see them disappear a little bit. Only the 4th game here at Lupton Stadium this year, but got to think we're due for one at some point in time.
There's always one.
When it gets above the lights, it's very tough to see.
Yeah, if you're not tracking the ball the entire way, and even if you are sometimes in this kind of pale blue high sky at this time of night, it's tough to see the baseball. Caius Gargett at the plate for the Horned Frogs, Kentucky transfer. He's done a nice job for TCU. Takes down low. I asked him the other day, I said, how do you like it here? He goes, the weather's a heck of a lot better. That's for sure. He said, I haven't had a chance to really explore Fort Worth because I've been, busy. This one's back up the middle, diving stop made by Thompson, who gets to his feet, throws to first, and gets him, according to first base umpire Cale Smith. But Gargett was pretty convinced he was safe, so we may see a challenge coming up here.
Either way, heck of a defensive play by Zant Payne up the middle. Just to even get a glove on this ball. This hit well up by Gargett. You see him stay on it. Even shoot it to the left side of second base with the shift on. Gets up, makes a strong throw. Real time, I thought that Caius had his foot in there at first base.
And they are going to take a look at it. Yeah, it was.
Nobody's got a better view of it than Cale Smith over there. And out on the field may prove to benefit Abilene Christian in this situation. We'll obviously get a look at it as it slows down. Good swing on the front end, great play on the back end, and we'll see what happens.
I thought that ball was going to make it through. The umpires are seeing exactly what you're looking at there on the left. Okay, so here we go. This is our first challenge of the night. Gargett hustling down the line. Does that foot come down before the ball's in the glove? I'm saying yes. What do you got?
I'm going to let you make a definitive call here so I can try and preserve my – that's a nice job. Yeah, you've been doing this long enough. You never go first.
So you're just going to avoid it.
No, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see this angle. That's all.
Kirk Sarlos looking on. The umpires will take a look at it from behind the first base bag here.
I think that's a reasonable statement that you made. That you don't actually see that ball, when it crosses into the mitt, but you can see the foot down there on the green base.
And then you see the glove on the next frame gets the ball squeezed into the webbing of the glove. That's a pretty good look right there, and I think the foot is down. I'm going that they're going to overturn this. Of course, we're wrong 95% of the time.
I appreciate you being definitive on a Tuesday night here. That's fantastic. I'm proud of you. I'm going to sit back, not say anything, but then say I told you so regardless of the outcome.
Yes, I know, because that's the kind of guy you are. You don't want to take a stance. She's going to let me do it.
This is becoming a deeper conversation than I intended it to be.
I'm not afraid to fail. I'm telling you right now. But our opinion up here is, if you follow us, doesn't matter. It's only the guys on the field that have a final say. And they're taking a long look at it. This is a long review. But either way, it was a great play by the shortstop, Zant Payne, who was cheating over on the right side of second base to even get to this ball. I thought when it was off the bat, I thought it was going to get through.
Yeah, it looked like it was headed up the middle, no doubt. And Gargett, a guy that can get down the line, so you don't have a ton of time to gather your feet and then make the throw from behind second base across the diamond. See a stretch on the back end by Watkins certainly helps this out as well for ACU.
They're taking a long look at it. I think both coaches are. Here come the umpires out from behind the TCU dugout. Let's see what they have to say. Home plate umpire Andrew Fulton is going to tell us that this call is going to stand. So there you go. 0 for 1 tonight.
Oh, you're 0 for 1 tonight. I abstained. Heck of a defensive play by Zant Payne up the middle to even make that a close play, let alone get the out. And
Yeah, no question. That was a great play.
For the Horned Frogs, you're still looking to muster up something offensively. You wonder if that long delay affects Logan Young at all.
Brady Dallimore takes strike one. Dallimore getting a start behind the plate tonight. Off to a slow start. Picked up his first hit last Monday against LMU. TCU expects big things from the freshman, though, as he takes a changeup for strike two. It's 0-2. I think it's just a matter of time before he figures it out. Both he and Lucas Franco, just too much talent for them not to get it figured out before the season's over. You know, we talked about it the other day. For both of these guys, you know, they were stars in high school. They probably didn't see a whole lot of off-speed pitches. They get up here, and all of a sudden it's change-up, breaking ball, you know, just not getting the pitches that they saw when they were in high school. Good take that time.
Go like like take that pitch that's there. That's not a pitch that you see at the high school level. And the 81-mile-an-hour changeup, but it's got power fade to it. You see how much break that has down. You know, there's just an adjustment as you continue to see more and more teams. And you know, for Dallimore's frame so big, guys are going to try and stay away from him. Maybe change up the speed. He's got some crazy natural power that, if you've been around the TCU program over the course of fall ball and then into the early preseason practices in January and early February, I mean, you see that the power is there. It's just a matter of getting the timing down in the real game situation, as you mentioned.
Got a pitch out over the plate, fouled it off. That might be the one that he wants back. His dad played in the big leagues, so, and his grandfather, longtime coach at UNLV, so there's the baseball pedigree. Takes it up and in. Full count on Brady Dallimore.
That's a good idea by Young to try and surprise him with a fastball up there after a couple of off-speed pitches, trying to work the lower half of the zone. Eighth pitch to the at-bat coming up here, though, in a full count.
Fisted in the air, foul. That ball's going to be out of play. Down by our cameraman down there. Grant Fitzgerald having an opportunity there to make a play. There he is. Tough job to try and operate the camera and catch the ball when it's coming at you. Good job, Grant. Fouled over the roof on the right side. Well, Dallimore's really making him work here.
Yeah, 10th pitch of the at-bat now coming up. And will be the third full count offering.
And he draws a walk. That's a really good at-bat by Brady Dallimore. He fell behind and then is able to work his way on with a 10-pitch walk.
Yeah, you could tell just trying to react to everything that Logan Young was throwing up there. Not guessing, not trying to sell out for a certain pitch, just seeing what the right hand was offering to him, was able to foul off a couple of pitches until the mistakes came, and so now he makes his way to first base with 2 outs and will extend that inning, which is something TCU is looking for with how smooth it's been for Young thus far.
Another freshman comes to the plate. Lucas Franco sends this one into center field, but right to the center fielder Regala for the final out of the inning. For TCU, no runs, no hits. They do leave a man. We play 2 full. Abilene Christian on top 3-0. In Fort Worth as we head to the top half of the 3rd inning. Abilene Christian taking advantage of a couple of hit batters in the 1st inning and then the big double to take the early 3-0 lead. But a good comeback inning by Cade Nelson last inning.
You know Kirk Sarlos and Dave Long have to be happy about that, to be able to come back, shake off the 3-run 1st inning, and move through a quick 2nd. Now let this game settle in a little bit. And for as long as Nelson's in the ball game, you've got to keep it right here until the offense gets going.
Breaking ball missed inside. Ball 1 to Grant Watkins. Watkins bounced into a fielder's choice, scored a run back in that first inning. Takes outside. Now you saw the 7 home runs on that graphic just a moment ago, and we talked about the wind blowing dead in to start the game. Now that the sun is set, the wind is completely gone. Fouled out of play. The flags right now are just hanging limp against the flagpoles. There's a good look at them right there. And, you know, with a guy with the amount of pop that Watkins has, you got to be careful about leaving the ball out over the plate.
Yeah, ballpark's going to play quite different as long as that wind is still calm.
Good pitch. Stayed away from him there and got the strike call on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that's just a really nice job by Cade Nelson.
And there's that pitch that he's been trying to find over the first 51 pitches of this ball game. We've seen him a couple of times, you know, overcork that breaking ball inside to a left-handed hitter. He's hit a couple of guys trying to go this direction, but snaps this one off well down and in to the power-hitting left-hander, and Watkins able to get him to swing over the top. That's what Nelson has been looking for all evening.
Yeah, just that little extra height. There's a strike call. You could see that pitch from the side angle. It started like about thigh high, and by the time Dallimore caught it, it was well below the knees, but there's another good one. You've got to swing at it if you're a hitter, especially with 2 strikes.
Well, and like so much in athletics, it becomes muscle memory. You get that arm slot, you get the release point, now you can go back to it. You see he backs it up with a great one here to get to 0-2.
Nick Arias at the plate. With the change up there, missed. Tried to get Arias to swing over the top of it. Arias 0 for 1. Flew out to center field his first time to the plate. He was a late addition to this lineup. The original lineup had Maddox Misi, one of their seniors who's hitting over 400 and has a couple of home runs, was in the initial lineup but was scratched at the last minute. Strike 3 call, good pitch from Nelson, and there are 2 outs. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cade Nelson to start the inning.
Now you can really see him settling in here. Goes to that 2-seam fastball that he runs it back over the outside corner. You know, in an 0-2 count, you don't need to be fine with this. You don't need to catch the meat of the plate. You can extend a little bit, see what you can get, and that's exactly what he does. You see Arias thinking that it's away, but Nelson gets the benefit of the call. 2 up and 2 down here in this third.
Pitch misses inside for a ball to Diego Cardenas. With the off-speed pitch, never had a chance, and it's 2-0. You see what Cardenas has done tonight. Picked up a single, scored a run back in the first inning. Nelson comes back with a strike. Three-one count. This is a spot where you do not want to let Cardenas get on with 2 outs. And he loses him as he misses down low, and Cardenas is aboard for the second time. It's a 2-out walk. Well, Cardenas heads down to first base, and you can see Kirk Sarlos looking on.
You talked about pitch count earlier in that first inning, but now up above 60, and you've got to extend after the 2-out walk. So now you start to think about it if you're Kirk Sarlos, Dave Lawn, getting some action, just some movement in the bullpen.
Nelson misses wide. And there is action in the TCU bullpen as they get a right-hander up and throwing.
That's Walter Quinn getting ready for the Horned Frogs.
Popped in the air off the left side without the wind. A chance here for Gipster, and he makes the play for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, a man left for ACU. We're going to the bottom of the third. Still 3-0, Abilene Christian. And Abilene Christian goes to their bullpen early in this ball game. They bring on the right-hander Brady Coe.
Coe on for the fifth time out of the bullpen. That ties him for the team lead in appearances. Does have a couple of saves for Abilene Christian. Gives you a sense of how important this lead is for Rick McCarty. 5 2/3 innings of work for Coe. He's punched out 4 walks as well. So coming on here in the bottom half of the third inning, Chucky takes over for the starter, Logan Young, who was really effective for his 2 innings of work.
And it goes 2 innings without allowing a hit or a run. Walked 1, didn't strike out anyone, and only threw 29 pitches. So I don't know if this was just a move that had him sort of as an opener, and he was planned to come out of the game. It doesn't look like there's any injury thing here. It just looks like
They're just hungry. That's all.
Just hungry. That's it. Get your Jimmy John's there.
Hey, I don't blame you.
No, I don't either. Get your sandwich. Good night's worth of work.
Made it look easy for 6 outs. Get you some Jimmy John's, and you're all set.
Good to go. There you go. Looks like it might be a turkey and cheese.
Here comes the ball to the third. Putting on the dummy day, third baseman number 2, Preston Gamster.
We need to get those delivered up here from time to time.
Yeah, not bad. You got to stop bringing these chocolate banana things up here.
Oh, I know.
It's going to be ugly by the end of the year.
Those things are pretty good. Wish I never found them, quite frankly. Preston Gamster will lead it off for the Horned Frogs as we start the third. Foul back. Gamster, Griffin, then back to the top of the TCU batting order. See what Preston Gamster's done, hitting .333. Got the start at short the other day. Fouled out of play, and I asked Kirk Sarlos, I said, you know, Gamster's gotten a few more opportunities over the last couple of ball games. And he said, yeah, he's forced our hand. I mean, what he's been doing in practice and hitting the baseball in BP and in inter-squad games, he said, you know, he's basically said, I want to play. And so, you know, with what he's done in practice, he deserves the opportunity to play in the games.
Yeah, a guy that was in the lineup first couple of weeks of last year, but you know, ended up becoming one of those reserves for the majority of this season. Has some pop in the swing. We've seen it already. Had a double over the weekend.
This one right up to Silo. Right near the pitcher's mound, and a tough play. And the catch is made by Nick Arias.
Now, this was a big league pop-up. It was in the air for a long time. See the breaking ball that Gamsters is underneath. Yeah, a bit of a longer swing, but when he connects with it and is on time, that's when you see some of those exit velocities really jump off. But it can create some of those big pop-ups like this. Arias doing a nice job of staying underneath it and navigating the front of the pitcher's mound.
A 1 out. Colton Griffin at the plate takes ball 1. Griffin hitting just .133 on the year. Last year he saw a lot of time at third base and on the infield. Tries to bunt his way out, pops this one up, and he's going to end up with a base hit. Looked like it was going to be trouble and might have been caught in the air, but it was just far enough away from the catcher, Gray, and the pitcher to be able to come in and get it.
Well, I tell you what, if I could get a 60-degree wedge to do this every time, I'd be a happy camper. Look at this one, just back up right in front of home plate. Not where Griffin's trying to go with this bunt at all, but it works out for him. And you see that backspin that he has on it. As soon as it hits the ground, backs up a little bit, and the catcher, Gray behind the plate, just overrunning it. Ends up being a single.
Top of the order, Cole Kramer at the plate. He takes a strike. And that ball checked up quite nicely. 0 for 1 for Kramer today, grounded to second. leading off the game for the Horned Frogs. Throw over to first base, and Griffin's able to get back. Talked about the stolen bases. Griffin's 3 for 3. Trying to inch his way off the bag over there at first with Grant Watkins holding him on. Kramer takes strike 2. You know, it's funny with that bunt, how many times we've seen a couple of bunts this year that looked like they were perfect bunts, but the pitcher is able to come off the mound and make a great play. And then you bunt one in the air and you think, oh, that's really awful. You end up with a hit. It's just a strange game sometimes. Swing and a miss. He chased a pitch. Did get a piece of it, though, to stay alive, according to Andrew Fulton. It's not a pitch we see Kramer go after too often.
He must have barely nicked this one. See, it's a hard downer breakable, and it's a good pitch in from Brady Coe. It's keeping it out of harm's way. And
yeah, if he hit it off the very end of the bat. He'll take it, though, and live to see another pitch. Strike 3 called. Instead, he gets stood up by a pitch on the outside corner.
And you can see the reaction from Kramer there. He thought this pitch was up, but same look as the pitch prior that he was able to stay alive with, just barely taking off the cap of his bat. See, it's up around the belt there.
This time he doesn't pull the trigger and pays the price. 2 outs, runner at first base. Throw over to first, and again, Griffin able to get back. TCU hit one hit. That was just the bunt a minute ago. Had been hitless up until Griffin's bunt. Griffin able to get back standing up on that throw over. Sawyer Strohschneider takes outside. Now this is a situation where if you're Brady Coe, you see what Strohschneider's done tonight. He flew out to the left fielder his first time up, but do not want to throw him a pitch that he can turn on. Like that. Lines it into the screen just above the tarp.
Right, you can see it as the pitch is coming. You can see Strohschneider get so far into that back hip. And, you know, if you've ever been around him during batting practice, been to a game, seen him in real action, the ball jumps off like you just don't see a whole lot at the collegiate level. He generates so much torque when he spins out of that swing. You see him kind of corkscrew a little bit as the pitch is coming, then he just unloads.
In the air, right field, got underneath this one, and Jones will have plenty of time to make the catch for the final out of the inning. For TCU, no runs, a hit, a man left on base. We played 3. It's 3-0 ACU. Top half of the 4th inning. New pitcher on for the Horned Frogs as they go to the lefty Nolan Johnson.
Well, 3rd appearance in a Horned Frog uniform for the senior, transferring in from North Dakota State. Did start a couple of weeks ago against UT Arlington, was a short one for him, but came back last Monday against Loyola Marymount, worked an inning, 2 strikeouts, and walked a couple batters. Left-hander on now, taking over for the starter, Cade Nelson. Here's a move to the top of the 4th inning.
For Nelson, aside from the first inning, he really settled down nicely. Ends up going 3 innings, allows 2 hits and 3 runs. Struck out 3, walked 1. The 2 hit by batters in that first inning allowed the inning to continue, and then, of course, the big blow off the bat of Brady Gray to score all 3 base runners at the time, which is where we are right now. But other than that, through his 63 pitches, it wasn't a bad outing. It just had that first inning where he couldn't kind of figure out the break on that.
But you see just how small the difference is between a scoreless outing and then one where you're maybe not feeling as positive as you'd like to, coming out on the wrong end of a 3-0 deficit. You had a couple of opportunities there with 2 outs in the first inning to make it a scoreless frame. Instead, it's the Horned Frogs that are fighting back. Nelson, plenty of upside, continues to be a part of that TCU pitching staff.
Pitch in the dirt. New left fielder for TCU as well, as Jack Arthur takes over for Colton Griffin in left. So he'll bat in the number 9 spot. Swing and a miss, and a good pitch. Brady Gray leading it off. He had that big double back in the first inning, which cleared the bases and gave ACU their 3-0 lead. Johnson missed outside. Brady Gray, a switch hitter, turning around to bat from the right side here. 3 switch hitters in the game. This ball's lined towards left field, and it's going to get down. Arthur slips and falls. Gray's going to head for second, and he's going to have his second double of the night, as he just went out and hooked that ball down the left field line.
Well, Brady Gray doing all the damage right now for Abilene Christian. You said it, just goes out and pokes this one. Able to hook it down in front of Jack Arthur. And as he falls over, that's all it takes to get an extra base. If you're thinking double out of the box, it just takes the smallest little hiccup in the outfield. Slides in, but doesn't even really need to.
Showing bunt, taking a strike, is Reese Boro. Boro lined out. To Gargett over at second base, his first time up. Up now with a chance to extend the ACU lead. Again showing bunt. That pitch is taken up high. Abilene Christian trying to get Brady Gray over to third base with less than 2 outs and a chance for him to score on basically any kind of ball put in play. That's if he sticks with the bunt attempt. He does, and gets the bunt down. Johnson off the mound is going to have a tough play and then throws it away. Luckily for the Horned Frogs, it's backed up by Gargett. You knew that was going to be a tough play because of the fact that Johnson's left-handed. And he had to pick it up and then almost wheel all the way around to make the throw, and it was very awkward trying to get the out.
And that's exactly why you choose to bunt this down the right side. You see it's put in a good location, even if you're just thinking sacrifice here, but you see how awkward the footwork is for Johnson, the left-hander. You've got to contort your body against the way that your momentum is going. And
Second baseman, J.T. Thompson.
Horned Frogs fortunate that you had Gargett back there backing up that throw. But now for TCU, you're in a real sticky situation here. Already down 3 with runners on the corners, nobody out. You've got all sorts of options offensively for J.T. Thompson and Abilene Christian.
Thompson bunts this ball back to the mound. The runner took off, and they've got him in a run down here, and the tag is applied by a Gamster. And that was a play that certainly called that he was trying to go on contact, and it was really a big mistake by Brady Gray when that ball was bunted hard enough for Johnson to get to it so quickly.
Yeah, this is a relatively easy read for the base runner at third, and Gray, as you're talking about it, and from a safety squeeze perspective, so you're not running on the pitch. You're seeing that ball down to the right side of the infield. If it's back to the pitcher, you've got to put the brakes on quickly. Otherwise, this is the result. TCU running the defense and executing to a T here. Now you've got yourself in a position where you can wiggle off of this hook. It's a big break for the Horned Frogs, and a mistake, leaving one on the table there for Abilene Christian.
Back to a breaking ball in for a strike to center fielder Braden Regala. Martis at first and second, 1 out. Chance for TCU to get out of it with a double play here. In the dirt, Dallimore smothers it. That's a big stop behind the plate by Brady Dallimore to keep that double play in order. A ball and a strike on Regala, who struck out his first time to the plate. Johnson trying to navigate his way through this top half of the 4th inning. This ball is well hit to left field. Back goes Jack Arthur at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. First home run of the year for Regalo, who had only been hitting 150. And all of a sudden, it is a 5-0 or 6-0 ball game in favor of Abilene Christian, a 3-run shot. And once again, Abilene Christian takes advantage of traffic on the base paths and comes through with a big extra base hit.
Well, you see in today's game how important it is, maybe more so than ever, just to have bodies out there on the base paths and how quickly you can run into one. And this is just Regala catching one out front. It's a great swing, getting the barrel of the bat to it and letting the velocity of the pitch do the work. The flags have calmed down here at Lupton Stadium. It's a totally different ballpark, and that's a big blow.
First pitch swinging. Zant Payne singles up the middle off the glove of Gargett, who tried to dive and make the play. And Johnson being roughed up here in this outing.
And you see middle fastball here up the middle. Gargett doing a nice job just knocking it down, keeping it on the infield, but no chance for a play at first.
Breaking ball, missed low and outside, ball 1 to Grant Watkins. So now the hill rather tall for TCU. They only have the one hit. That was the bunt base hit last inning by Colton Griffin. Meanwhile, on the other side, 2 big extra base hits with runners on. It's a 6-0 lead for Abilene Christian. Wildcats came into this game the identical record to TCU at 6-5. In for a strike.
But you look at, I was talking about this earlier. You look at the deficits now that the Horned Frogs have faced in their 3 midweek games. Down 9 runs after the first inning against UT Arlington the first midweek of the season. Down 6-1 last Monday at Loyola Marymount.
Ball got away from Dallimore. The throw down the second, not in time, as Franco tried to apply the tag to Payne, who took off with the pitch in the dirt.
Well, and now, at this lead, Abilene Christian, you can be as aggressive as you want to on the base paths. Payne putting his head down as soon as he recognizes that ball in the dirt, just able to get that left hand in there and keep the foot on as he slides past. You're seeing a lot of guys become a lot more acrobatic in their slides to second base.
On the ground right side, to his left is Gargett, and he throws over to first base for the out. There are 2 away on the play. Payne advances to third with 2 outs. Going back to your statement, as here comes Kirk Sarlos. Yeah, TCU has had to really battle in these midweek games. New pitcher coming on for the Horned Frogs here. We'll take a timeout, come back and tell you who it is right after this. The righty Walter Quinn, who's been the most reliable arm for the Horned Frogs out of the bullpen so far this year.
Yeah, sure has, and really no question, 6th appearance out of the bullpen for the transfer from Grand Canyon, a 1.08 ERA, 2-0 record, and a save. 14 punch-outs, yet to walk a batter, as you've seen down from that 3/4 arm slot as he drops down. It makes it a frisbee type of breaking ball. He's 91-92 with the fastball with some hard arm side run, but more important than anything else, he's come in and calmed several situations already for the Horned Frogs, which is exactly what Kirk Sarlos and Dave Lawn are looking for from the right-hander here.
He replaces Nolan Johnson, who goes 2/3 of an inning, allows 4 hits, 3 runs, does leave with property on base, no strikeouts or walks for Johnson, who ended up throwing 17 pitches while he was in the game. I asked Kirk Sarlos about him pitching today. He said, "Oh, he'll pitch today." He said he had pitched a couple of times over the weekend. He said he does not like to wear his turf shoes. He wants to pitch. Like the other day, he started getting up throwing, and I'm like, "You don't need to go." He was, "Nah, I want to pitch." Even though the game was out of reach, it was what, 20 to whatever the heck it was. He's like, I just. And Sarlos said, "You know what? He's one of those guys that the more he pitches, the more effective he is."
Yeah, and it's the story's well documented at this point. Was all set to join corporate America, move on from the game of baseball, coming out of Grand Canyon, threw his name in the transfer portal, just really for entertainment more so than anything else to see what's out there. It ended up here in Fort Worth, and now you're playing with house money in that type of situation. I asked him before the game too. I said, "Hey, are you hot today?" And he said, "Well, yeah, it's game day."
That's what you
And
want.
I think that tells you all that you need to know about the mentality that Walter Quinn has, and it's come out on the mound as well. He's pitched with the most confidence out of anybody we've seen thus far for the TCU pitching staff. Obviously, there's some experience to go along with that, but there's the presence on the mound, something this pitching staff is looking for.
Behind Arias here, 3-0. With the runner at third, 2 outs. Arias 0 for 2. He struck out his last time up. He's flown out to center as well. And a rare, in fact, I think that, did you say it's the only walk, first walk that he's allowed all year long. Kirk Sarlos, can't believe it. That's something I haven't seen. So runners at first and third, 2 away. And it will bring up the designated hitter, Diego Cardenas, who singled up the middle. That pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 called. Quinn trying to keep the score right where it is. Goes back to the same pitch. Looked like it had the corner, but low.
Stay on 1 here.
Good pitch. It's pretty nasty moving away from the,
you know, and it's nasty because it's breaking the opposite direction of the first 2 pitches that you saw if you're Cardenas, but it starts at the same location. Releasing the ball at the exact same point. Looks the same to a hitter out of the hand, but then it just goes the other way.
Tries to bury the breaking ball in on the fists. Cardenas does a good job of just making contact to keep the at-bat alive. I also asked Kirk Sarlos, he said, it's not the arm slot that fools you. He said, hitters see this arm slot a lot. It's the way he takes the ball out of his glove and just kind of throws his arm backwards that you don't see very much of.
Yeah, there's a hitch, and the hitch throws off the timing a little bit, because you're right, especially as a left-handed hitter, from this arm slot, you get to see the ball a long time, but when he goes behind the back like that as it comes out of the glove, you see it once, then it's hidden again, and then it pops out for a second time. Not to mention a little bit of a hitch as he drops his weight into his legs as well. You've just got to get on that timing.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Quinn comes in and calms things down as he strikes out Cardenas to end the inning. But the Wildcats pick up 3 more runs. The big blow, the home run off the batter, Braden Regala. We will head to the bottom of the 4th. 6-0 Abilene Christian.
Three-run innings. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, TCU just 1 hit. You've gotten a walk as well. No at-bats with a runner in scoring position yet to this point. Just has not been a lot of opportunity for TCU offensively, which means that, to your point, Chuck, the Wildcat pitching staff making it stress-free thus far.
Chase Brunson starts it off for TCU here. The bottom half of the 4th inning, it takes that pitch up and in from Brady Coe. Coe replaced Logan Young, who started and went the first 2 innings. Did not allow a hit. And for TCU, they need to start to generate some offense here. You don't have to get all 6 runs back here in the middle innings, but got to chip away at it. This ball's pulled through the hole on the left side, and a good start to the inning for Chase Brunson and the Horned Frogs.
Well, that's how it's got to happen. And when you're facing a 6-0 deficit, there's, as far as to my knowledge, there's not a 6-run home run. So you've got to start to manufacture it somewhere, and it has to start there. You've just got to have some consistent offense, and we talk about it at length over the course of the games that we get to do together, Chuck. But offense is contagious, particularly when you're playing at home, particularly when you're chasing down a bigger lead. And you start to breed a little bit of confidence in that home dugout down the third base line. It can happen quickly.
Nolan Traeger takes a breaking ball for strike one. Traeger hitting .273 doesn't seem like much, but he was 0 for the first 4 or 5 games before getting untracked in the final contest against UCLA and then LMU and finally last weekend. Ball and strike on Traeger. 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to the left fielder Borjo his first time up. Good pitch from Brady Coe. Went with the fastball, snuck it over the outside corner. Just 90 miles an hour, but coming off the 79-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, looks a lot quicker. Foul back. For Abilene Christian, they played at the college baseball series down in Cleburne at the Railroaders Stadium. Lost to Texas State, beat Creighton, and then lost to Texas State again in that 3-game series down there. Horned Frogs, of course, coming off of 3 games where they run-ruled New Haven. Abilene Christian in the WAC this year, and then next year they'll be in what's the reconstituted United Athletic Conference, which will have teams from multiple conferences combined into one. And if you ask me who they all are, I would have to tell you I couldn't name them all.
UTA is one of them.
UTA is one of them, yes. And Abilene Christian. But for this year, they are in the WAC. Tarleton will be another one who's in that league as well. So Eastern Kentucky, Little Rock also will be in the North Alabama, West Georgia also in the new league. In the air, right field. And there's one out as Traeger heads back into the TCU dugout. But you can tell from just those names that I mentioned, it's a league that's going to be kind of coast to coast almost, north to south.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting one too, because you only have 7 conference series as you're looking at the team, so a lot of non-conference action over the course of your schedule.
That pitch is up high for ball 1. Caius Gargett at the plate for TCU, 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded to short. Had a hit taken away from him by Zant Payne on a great play up the middle. TCU challenged, but lost the challenge. Once again, the shift is on with Payne playing on the right side of second base. Gargett hits one to where Payne's usually standing. He'll have an easy base hit. Backdoor breaking ball, and he falls in for a strike, and it's 1-2. And there is nobody basically on that side of the infield. Now the third baseman, Arias, is going to back up and play in the hole between short and third. Prior to this pitch, he was guarding against the bunt near third base, so there was nobody over there from third base all the way to second.
And you see a lot of defenses do it with this day and age with technology and information that's out there, all of the data that exists. And these teams are going to play the percentages that they believe in. You sell out to try and defend that right side of the field. It opened up some holes.
The runner goes. Gargett hits this one into the air. Right field. Jones moving towards right center, makes the catch just underneath it. Back-to-back fly balls to Jones in right field. There are 2 outs, and back to first goes Brunson, who started the inning off with a single, but so far has remained firmly rooted over there at first base. So now Brady Dallimore will bat with 2 outs and a runner at first. Check swing. They appeal down to the first base umpire, Cale Smith, who says he did not go around. So it's 1-0. Dallimore fell behind 0-2 in his last at bat, and then was able to work his way on with a walk. Strike called underneath the hands of Dallimore.
Well, you can see for Brady Coe, he's not afraid to attack with the fastball either. This is just a four-seamer that he's trying to get on the inner part of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Took something off and had Dallimore out in front. That was a good pitch by Coe because it looked like the prior pitch that was on the inner part of the plate, but by the time it got to home plate, had fallen off the table. Goes right back inside with the fastball. He's doing a nice job of moving this ball in and out.
When he said it when he came in, has the 2 saves that Abilene Christian have recorded this year. His coaching staff trying to preserve the lead at the time.
There goes Brunson to throw down to second base, not in time. So it got away from Thompson out at second base. So it's a stolen base for Brunson, his 5th of the year.
You could tell the Wildcats had an inkling that Brunson was getting ready to go. Not quite a pitch out, more of a pitch up on this one. The throw just leaking a little bit towards the base, but Brunson gets a great jump. We know he's got elite speed as well. And TCU continuing that stolen base trend that had been so hot coming into the ballgame.
Up and in to Dallimore, and another walk to Brady Dallimore. Now TCU with 2 outs has something going. Lucas Franco will be the batter. You can see Franco talking to himself as he makes his way to the plate.
Now the big difference in the ball game right now, Wildcats are 4 for 11 with runners on. TCU 0 for 5. You've got to come through in these type of situations, especially down 6. You're trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time. 2-out opportunity for the freshman Franco.
Missed outside, ball 1. Franco flew out to center field his first time to the plate. 0 for 1 tonight. You see the batting average sitting at just 184. Does have the 2 home runs. Looks at the strike and it's 1-1. The home run he hit, both home runs that he has hit have gone to right field, and they have been laser beams. Hit one at Globe Life and then hit one out at UCLA. Neither one of them the cheap variety. Though he does have a lot of pop. He's way ahead in the count here, 3-1.
So got himself in a great situation here, 3-1. And for the Horned Frogs, you can't ask for much more than this as you're looking to get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. If you're Franco, you're keying in on one type of pitch and one part of the plate. If you get it, put your best swing on it.
He got it, but he missed it. Full count, 3-2. That'll release the runners. Brunson will take off from second, Dallimore from first. Coe trying to retire the side without allowing a run to cross, and he strikes him out on a high fastball as he goes up and in with the last 2 pitches and beats Franco to keep the Frogs off the board. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on base for TCU here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 6-0 ACU. Moon here in Fort Worth after the blood moon last night, and I don't know, did you get up at 5 o'clock to look at the eclipse?
No, certainly did not.
It was cloudy anyway, you would have missed it.
That's why.
So take a look at the comparison of this two teams here tonight.
It really is one-sided as you get a look at it. The 3-run homer, a big blow in the top half of the 4th inning for Abilene Christian. Both teams have left 4 men on and had a couple of walks, but besides that, in between, it's been all Wildcats. 2 3-run innings. They got off to a 3-0 lead before the Horned Frogs even came to bat. For TCU, you're just looking for answers now. You've got Walter Quinn in the ballgame on the mound, who's been your reliable bullpen arm. You'll see how long you ride him. He's normally a shorter outing kind of guy, but there's really been no offense to hang your hat on tonight. Had a chance to get on the scoreboard in the last half, but we're still fighting back. You got to keep it here. Give yourself a chance.
Just the 2 hits for TCU. A bunt base hit by Griffin was now out of the game in the 3rd, and then the leadoff single from Brunson last inning. So Horned Frogs, you're right, they have to keep this game right where it is if they want to come back in it. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike on Ryan Jones, who was the only batter not to come to the plate last inning for the Wildcats. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time up back in the 1st inning before Brady Gray doubled to drive everyone in and then fouled out his last time up. Fouls that one off of Dallamore's body. Not sure what part it got. I think it got the mask right in the forehead there. Dallamore says he's okay, but home plate umpire Andrew Fulton will buy him a little bit more time. Swing and a miss, and another good pitch from Walter Quinn.
I see that slider just starts on the same plane as the fastball.
Brady Gray's been a one-man wrecking crew for ACU here tonight.
A couple of doubles and 3 RBIs for Brady Gray. So back in the 1st inning with the bases loaded, put this off of the base of the wall and right, then flipping around to the right side in his last at bat. Another double to add to it. That was in the 4th inning.
Takes the first pitch from Walter Quinn outside, ball 1. You see what he's done tonight. 3 runs batted in, a stolen base. This one flipped in the air, left field side, foul ground, and Preston Gamster able to get over there in time to make the catch for the first time tonight. Brady Gray's retired.
You see this one just got in on him a little bit, flaring it down the left field line in foul territory. Preston Gamster got a great read on this to get over there. This one didn't have a ton of hang time, so you got to really get on your horse as an infielder working backwards.
Reese Borjo at the plate, takes outside, ball 1. Borjo 1 for 2 has a single and a run scored. Laid down a bunt his last time up. Was really trying to sacrifice, but he turned it into a hit. Takes inside, 3-0 count. For Abilene Christian, they'll return home after tonight's ball game. Outside, ball 4. A 2-out walk to Borjo. And we'll take on Stephen F. Austin tomorrow and then have a 3-game set against Rice at home over the weekend. Missed inside for ball 1. JT Thompson at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. 0 for 2 for Thompson tonight. Reached on a fielder's choice last time up, lined out to left field. his first time to the plate. That came back in the second inning. Quinn misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Walter Quinn came on last inning, kind of quieted things down. Walked the first man that he faced. This one's in the air towards left center field. Well hit, but getting over in time is Jack Arthur to make the running catch for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits. A man left for Abilene Christian here in the 5th. 6-0 Wildcats as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Super Frog in attendance here tonight. He and anyone else dressed in the colors of TCU, although both of these teams are purple, but are not happy with the score right now. 6-0 Abilene Christian. New pitcher on for the Wildcats as they go back to the bullpen and call on the left-hander Will Patterson.
Well, first left-handed arm of the night for the Wildcats. 3rd time out of the bullpen this year for Will Patterson. 3 punch-outs to go with 3 walks as well. He's held opponents to a .250 average over his 4 1/3 innings of work. So right now the formula working for Rick McCarty and company in the Abilene Christian dugout is it's Will Patterson on for Brady Coe.
Coe ends up going 2 innings, allows 2 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts, a walk, 41 pitches for Coe in the ballgame, and taking a well-deserved drink in that dugout. Guess he doesn't get a sandwich. I guess only the starter gets the sandwich.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. If I were Brady Coe, I'd be complaining. Like, where's my sandwich? Preston Gamster lead it off for the Horned Frogs here as we start the 5th. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Gamster chasing it. 0-1 on Preston Gamster. In the air, slicing down towards the line, but Jones with plenty of time to get over and make the catch. That ball was airborne for quite a while. And again, TCU just underneath a lot of these balls that they're swinging at. Jack Arthur coming up for the first time in the game.
Yeah, this one more of timing. Looked like it got in on Gamster just a shade, but you got to give credit to these Wildcat pitchers. They're avoiding the tough situation, and it's allowing them to be aggressive in the zone, even at the top of the zone. With little traffic out there, you don't have to worry about a 3-run home run grand slam.
Jack Arthur came on replacing Colton Griffin. Shows bunt, drops the bunt down. That's a really good bunt. The throw to first, not in time. He couldn't have walked that ball down there and placed it any better.
Well, when you talk about using the drag bunt as a weapon, you've really got to be soft with the hands, and you work on deadening it down that third base line if you're going to go that direction. This is off the end of the bat, and you can see that's just in a beautiful location. There's just not a whole lot that you can do. Brady Gray plays this about as good as you can defensively as a catcher. He gets rid of this faster than most would from behind the plate, but Arthur, who can also run, he beats it out for an infield single. For TCU, you've got to try and make it happen somehow.
Cole Kramer at the plate here. There goes Arthur on the first pitch, and he'll steal second base. So Jack Arthur using his wheels to get into scoring position with only 1 out.
Immediately going first move against the left-hander, and a little bit of an abbreviated motion as well from Patterson on the mound. Now you see that left hand of Arthur go right into the glove there of Thompson at second base. Horned Frog's fortunate that he's able to get some contact with the base itself, slide in there safely. Now you've got a couple of chances with a runner in scoring position.
Kramer takes a strike. For Arthur, he's now 3 for 3 in stolen bases on the year. Now, these are opportunities TCU's got to start to take advantage of. They had a couple of guys on last inning, could not bring anyone around. And they have not had a whole lot of chances, but you know, we've seen Abilene Christian take advantage of the few that they've had tonight. Kramer late on the swing, and it's 2-2. That fastball just 88.
You don't see him that far behind on 88 too much. You wonder if it surprised him a little bit to see the velocity there.
Went back to the fastball, missed outside. That one at 90. And it's full 3-2 on Cole Kramer. Ball 4, and he draws a walk. Now Kramer not only getting rid of the batting gloves and the rest of the gear, he's talking to Sawyer Strohschneider over there, telling him what he's seen so far.
And a lot of good offense that has been played by those two in their respective careers. So it will be really interesting to see the approach to Strohschneider here. Do you try and pitch him carefully, stay away from him, but then you also run the risk of putting another man on to load the bases for Brunson, who may be a better matchup as a right-handed hitter. I feel like you got to attack Strohschneider here left on left.
Fisted to left, that's going to dunk in for a base hit. Arthur will be held in third as the left fielder Boro got to the ball quickly, but the bases are loaded for TCU, and the Frogs have a little something going here in the bottom half of the fifth, trying to fight their way back into this game.
Yeah, this is how it's got to go, station to station for a little while until you get that big hit like we saw the Wildcats do. It's a fastball that just gets in on Strohschneider, but he's so strong with the hands. He's able to muscle that ball into shallow left field. Everybody moves up 90 feet. And now you get a really good matchup for TCU. Chase Brunson against left-handed pitching. Really dangerous, especially with the bases juiced.
Before Brunson gets an opportunity to hit, Rick McCarty's going to go out to the mound, and he might go to the bullpen here. They do have a right-hander throwing out in the pen. See if he decides to do that or go that way to face Brunson. There's a good look at the right-hander. Caden Grenade out there.
At least for the time being, though, looks like that he's sticking with the left-hander. Been no indication that he wants to go to the bullpen at all, and he is. Tries to give Will Patterson a vote of confidence as he jogs back to the Wildcat dugout. It's been a pretty impressive showing through the first half of this ball game for Abilene Christian. All facets of the ball game, and for the first time, they're going to be tested on the defense and pitching end of it here.
So for the moment, the right-hander Grenade stays out in the bullpen. Brunson takes strike one. I think a pretty good pitch to hit. Might have been a little bit up, but Brunson laid off.
Yes, strike zone seems to be a little bit further open to that left-handed batter's box side of home plate.
Brunson fouls that one out of play. 75 mile an hour.
And you see that change of velocity just has Brunson out front. That's a pitch that he feasts on. The breaking ball from a left-hander that's breaking back down and into him. But Will Patterson now in the driver's seat of this at bat. He's up 0-2.
Brunson singled through the left side of the infield his last time up. Lays off that pitch down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Tried to go back to the same pitch. This one not quite enticing enough for Chase Brunson. Besides the base hit, he's also flown out to center field. Brunson swings and misses, and he's down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So they just went with the soft breaking balls and able to strike out Brunson. That's a big out.
And the location on this is why you get the swing and miss. You see that starts about belt high, but it's a ton of north to south break on this curveball in from Patterson. The change in velocity, bringing that all the way down to 75. Even as great of a hitter as Chase Brunson is, you've just got him out in front. That's a massive strikeout for the Wildcats.
Breaking ball strike taken by Nolan Traeger. Traeger's flown out twice tonight, 0 for 2. Once to left, once to right. It's going to take a 2-out base hit from Traeger to get runs in. That ball almost hit him up and in. TCU loading the bases here with only 1 out. Really need to push a couple of runs across. It's getting late in the ball game for the Horned Frogs. That breaking ball stayed up. Still plenty of time to come back if you're TCU, but got to take advantage of these opportunities. Down by 6. Traeger has not homered yet this year. We know he has power. Takes that one up and in, and he's ahead in the count now, 3-1. Last year, Traeger had 3 homers as a freshman. Ball 4, he walks, and that'll force in a run. Well, TCU gets on the board with a bases loaded walk. It'll be the 16th run batted in of the year for Traeger.
The second baseman, Caius Gargett.
Caius Gargett, a switch hitter coming to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a run in for TCU as they try to get themselves back into this ball game. Gargett takes outside, ball 1. Oh for 2 tonight. Still hitting .294. Robbed of a base hit earlier in the game, and that pitch is up. Ball 2.
I can see right now these last several pitches out of the left hand of Will Patterson missing up above that strike zone. Almost got Traeger to chase 3-1, but he was able to spit on that for the bases loaded walk. Now a 2-0 count to Gargett. He can look for something that's in the zone, try and really chew into this Wildcat lead.
There's a strike. Brought it down just a little bit. Gargett didn't think it was in the strike zone. You can see him sort of nonchalantly ask Andrew Fulton where that pitch was. Had a big swing there. Like he fouled it off his foot. And it's 2-2. Gargett walking that one off. Where's the guard on that front leg? But it looked like it came right down on the top of his foot.
Yeah, you know, as soon as you put the shin guard on, that means you're fouling one off your knee or off the top of your toe. That's the way that it works.
Seems to be okay after walking around.
The tough thing after the delay, now as he walks around, tries to gather himself, you got to come back, and it's 2-2 count here.
Takes the breaking ball at his feet, full count. Well, the merry-go-round will start here on the 3-2 pitch. So all 3 runners will take off once the ball comes out of the hand of Will Patterson.
Now, we saw it in the first for Abilene Christian with 2 outs and the base is loaded like this, you got a chance for a ball in the outfield somewhere. Well, everybody can score.
Ball 4, it's another walk. It'll force in the second run of the inning, and the bases are still loaded. Third free pass allowed this inning by Patterson. TCU will take it as they're on the board. It's now a 6-2 ball game. If you're Rick McCarty, how much longer do you stick with Patterson, who's obviously having some problems finding the strike zone here?
Well, looks like we're going to find out the answer to that question right here.
Second mound visit of the inning, and they're going to call on the right-hander to face Brady Dallimore. So Patterson's night is done. New pitcher coming on for the Wildcats. We'll tell you who it is and give you his numbers when we get back from this timeout. Right-hander Caden Grenay.
Grenay makes his 6th appearance out of the Wildcat bullpen. That leads this pitching staff. He's 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA over 4 innings of work. Been a situational arm for Rick McCarty and company, and comes into a tough situation here. Horned Frogs have seen 2 runners walked in here in this 5th inning to get on the board, still have the bases loaded, 2 outs, Chuck.
He replaces Will Patterson, who goes 2/3 of an inning, allows 2 hits, 2 runs, does leave with property on base, 3 walks, and a strikeout. He ended up throwing 26 pitches while he was in the game. So he'll sit on the bench and see if Grenay can get out of the inning without further damage being done. Grenay will face Brady Dallimore with the bases loaded, 2 outs and 2 runs in. So TCU's made a dent in the deficit here. Dallimore with an opportunity to add some more for the Horned Frogs. It'll take a 2-out base hit from him. Takes high and away, ball 1.
Oh, we've seen Dallimore over the last week scratch his first few collegiate hits, yet to really extend and connect on one. This is not a bad time to try that if you're the freshman.
Ball 2, back-to-back fastball, both of them up and out of the strike zone.
And right now you're forcing the right-hander Grenay to come back down in the strike zone.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. Good job by the freshman Dallimore not to offer any of these first 3 fastballs.
Yeah, and right now is when you get up on the plate and make yourself look even bigger than the frame that he has.
Here's the 3-0. Strike called on the inside corner, 3-1. Took a couple of miles an hour off that fastball just to get it over. Ball 4, he takes a walk and then forces in another run. Well, TCU's cut the deficit in half without the benefit of a hit here.
You know this is frustrating in the Wildcat dugout because of how well the game had gone for you through those first 4 innings. You still have a 3-run lead, but now you run the risk with that traffic out there. For the Horned Frogs, you run into one. This is a brand new ball game here.
9th man to come to the plate, Lucas Franco. Takes outside, ball 1. Franco had an opportunity last inning with a couple of guys on base. Struck out to end the frame. Flew out to center field his first time up, back in the second. Breaking ball for a strike. Crowd here at Lupton Stadium looking for something positive to happen offensively. Franco cues that one off the end of the bat. He got a breaking ball, and you can just see they are not going to throw him Too many fastballs.
Well, we saw them have success after this sequence in the last inning, as you just mentioned, going fastball up right after this. You've got that eye line a little further down with that last breaking ball. Just wonder if he tries to chase.
Missed off the plate. Grenade thought it was strike 3. He was headed towards the dugout, but Andrew Fulton did not snap the right hand up.
Get another look at the pitch. The breaking ball that's away just doesn't quite come back over the plate.
Franco reaches out, fouls it out of play. That's a good job of spoiling that pitch. It looked like it might come back over that outside corner.
Now he's getting a good look at some of these fastballs that are a little, some of these breaking balls, excuse me, that are a little bit higher right now. You just got to protect against that fastball that's up above the letters. Be able to be disciplined enough to take it.
Breaking ball down, full count.
Now you see a lot of composure from the freshman Franco right now.
Now you know he's wanting to come up with that huge hit in front of the home crowd. Full count, the runners will take off. There they go. Here's the pitch in the air. Right center field. This one way up in the air. Regala with plenty of time to run under and make the catch for the final out of the inning. TCU picks up 3 runs on 2 hits. They leave the bases loaded. We played 5, 6-3 Abilene Christian. Bullpen here as we start the top half of the 6th inning and calling the right-hander Tanner Seguspie.
A third relief appearance in a Horned Frog uniform for Tanner Seguspie, transferring in from Cal Poly, the graduate transfer. 5 innings of work for TCU this season. He's punched out 6 and yet to walk anybody, but tale of 2 outings. Was fantastic on opening day against Vanderbilt in 2 innings of relief, but hit around against UCLA a couple of weeks ago. 3 innings of work against the Bruins, gave up 4 hits and a couple of runs in that outing, but comes in here, Chuck, fresh slate, down 3 runs. He takes over for Walter Quinn.
Walter Quinn, once again, all reliable for the Horned Frogs. An inning in the 3rd, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 25 pitches. So Seguspie will face Regala here to start the inning, and that one's fouled off Brady Dallimore. Looked like it might have caught him in the arm. You can see him holding that right arm near his side there. Actually, it looks like it hit off the left forearm there. Pitch missed up, a ball and a strike. Regala with a big 3-run home run from the right side. His last time to the plate, it was his first home run of the year. He's also struck out. Ahead in the count here, 2-1. After Regala, it's back to the top of the order for the Wildcats. One hopper right back to the mound. Seguspie underhands to first base, and there's 1 out.
Oh, you love those as a reliever to start your outing. Come back or right back to you. That's not hit overly hard on one hop. You can snare it and walk it over to first base. Now, you said it during the break. You know, how important would it be for TCU, for Seguspie to come into the ball game and continue the momentum that Walter Quinn brought from a defensive end, especially after you just got 3. You cut the lead in half. Would go a long way for morale in the home dugout.
On the ground, that ball's gobbled up by Gargett. He got it over to first base. He was like stumbling. It's got an awkward throw.
No, he took a fadeaway shot. That's all it was. This one hit firm. He was shifted over into the 4-hole a little bit further towards first base. See on the backhand, it looked like he almost lost that ball in the transition from his glove. It just barely had to get enough on it to get it to Cole Kramer, who stretched it out.
That's what it was. It I couldn't tell whether he caught a spike and he was off balance, but on the replay you could see it just sort of coming out of his hand.
Yeah, just threw a little bit of a palm ball, that's all.
Yeah, that's okay. Got it over there in time. Did a nice job of covering the real estate to get to the ball initially. Got the sunglasses on top of his hat. Got to look good when you're playing. 2 outs, bases empty. Strike call. Grant Watkins up for the 4th time in this one. 0 for 3. It bounced into a fielder's choice. Struck out, grounded to second. A good pitch from Seguspy, and he's up in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Gargett now out on the outfield grass. In the dirt. Gargett's playing shallow right field. Get a good look at the defense there with Brunson behind him. Playing towards the gap. Strike 3 call. Good pitch and a good inning for Tanner Seguspy. 3 up, 3 down for Abilene Christian. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 6-3 ACU. TCU trailing 6-3. Able to get back in the game. 3 walks with the bases loaded, but still unable to come up with that big hit. The Frogs 0 for 5 with 2 outs and just 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Preston Gamster leading it off, takes strike 1. TCU's men's basketball team beating Tech tonight, 73-65. In a big ball game as the men's basketball team here at TCU fighting to make it to the NCAA tournament on the bubble. Most procrastinators have TCU men's basketball in the tournament, but right there on the kind of cusp. They need to keep moving ahead. A big win for them tonight against Texas Tech. 2 balls and a strike here against Preston Gamster. Hits this one sharply back up the middle, comes up nicely for Payne, and he gets it over in time to record the out at first base.
Zant Payne has played a solid shortstop tonight for Abilene Christian. This one hit hard, just has to range to his left. It makes that play look easy. Another ball that's hit hard towards the middle of the diamond for TCU that does not result in a hit. It's been a tough place to go with these Wildcat middle infielders tonight.
Jack Arthur coming up for the 2nd time since he entered the game back in the 4th. Dropped down a perfect bunt his last time up and picked up a single, stole a base and scored a run. It was kind of the catalyst of getting things going for TCU last inning. Arthur takes a strike. 2 balls and a strike on Jack Arthur as he tries to start something for TCU with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. Way outside. You know, a 3-1 count on Jack Arthur. Ball 4. And Arthur draws a walk.
Arthur already 1 stolen base tonight. He went on the first pitch, but he had the opportunity to see if he keeps that same level of aggression 4 for 4 in bags this year for Jack Arthur. And every run right now, as you cut that lead down to 3, Chuck, every run that you can manufacture right now for TCU, massive to the cause.
Cole Kramer takes on pitch in the dirt, and Arthur takes off. Once he sees that ball hit the dirt, he wastes no time getting down to second. He was not breaking on the throw home. He waited for this ball to hit the dirt.
Yeah, get a look at the timing here. You see that ball down, and as soon as Arthur realizes that that's in the dirt, takes off head down, and that is a confident base runner right there when you're making decisions that quickly. And just like that, you put yourself in scoring position and give your team a couple of chances to knock you in.
Wild pitch. Kramer takes a strike. Grenade. His first wild pitch. Ball and strike on Cole Kramer here. Drew a walk and scored last inning. Up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Oh for 2 officially in the game for Kramer. He's grounded to second, struck out looking. In the prior at-bats before the walk, and that pitch again in the dirt. This time a good stop by Brady Gray. Kept it in front of him, which kept Jack Arthur rooted out at second base.
Yeah, if that squirts away from him in either direction, look for Arthur to take off again. He's taking some big leans after these breaking balls that are down and in the dirt. Credit to Brady Gray continuing to work behind the plate with the hard downer breaking ball here.
Holding the ball a while as Grenade delivers ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And once again, TCU generating some life here without the benefit of a hit. Scored 3 times last inning without coming up with a hit. First and second with 1 out. Sawyer Strohschneider coming up, and so far they've been able to keep Strohschneider contained. He did flare a base hit to left field last inning.
And you got a left-hander getting hot in the bullpen right now for the Wildcats, and you wonder if we're going to have a mound visit from the catcher here. You wonder if you're going to see Rick McCarty at some point over the next couple of minutes here as he gets time to really heat up.
Yeah, I think that this was send out to get a look at the bullpen for ACU.
Chase Batten, the left-hander, and you see him getting hot in a hurry.
I think they sent Gray out to the mound to buy some time. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rick McCarty come out here. At least for the time being, he's going to wait, and now he's going to come out. Yeah, there was no point in getting that lefty up and heated up as fast as he was if you're not going to go get him. No call to the bullpen yet. They'll buy a little bit more time, but I would imagine that we will see Chase Batten come into the game here momentarily. This is just a case of stalling by Rick McCarty to allow him a few more minutes to get loose. And as soon as the umpire, Andrew Fulton, gets close to the mound, he'll make the call.
Yeah, you know, and you wonder, okay, hey, why is this necessary? Well, your pitcher down in the bullpen's gotten another 10, 12 pitches in the time that we have initially been talking about this. It affords them an opportunity to really get it loose.
You can see the umpire talking with McCarty. And now he's going to go out to the bullpen to bring in the lefty to face Strohschneider. So exactly what we thought was going to happen does. New pitcher coming on. We'll tell you all about Chase Batten when we get back from this timeout. Aforementioned Chase Batten.
One job right now for Chase Batten, and that is Sawyer Strohschneider at the plate. Just 2/3 of an inning of work for the left-hander over 2 previous relief appearances. Hit around a little bit, couple of hits for 5 earned runs. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks as well, but he is solely focused on number 10 in the black jersey right now. And it's Batten on for the right-hander, Caden Grenay.
Grenay ends up going 2/3 of an inning without allowing a hit. Did not strike out anyone. Walked 3, ended up throwing 26 pitches. He does leave the property on bases. Both base runners will be charged to his record should they come in to score here. Well, he leaves the game. With a couple of men on base. Meanwhile, Batten will finish up his warm-up tosses and then face Sawyer Strohschneider. Strohschneider with a smile on his face as he comes to the plate. Probably thinking, yeah, I didn't think they were going to let me face a righty.
And he knows that, the thing that he has shown is that he's comfortable with that being part of the territory. 16 walks. Has him well near the top of the list. When you just look across the country, it's just, teams are electing to pitch around him. It's soft stuff. It's out and away from the strike zone. We'll see what the approach is from Batten.
Missed badly down and away, and a nice play by Brady Gray to stop that ball from going all the way back to the backstop, which would have allowed both base runners to advance. But not only would it have put 2 men in scoring position for Strohschneider, it would have taken the double play out of order. Strohschneider takes a strike, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Then it's 1-1. Stroh had a bloop single left his last time up. He's flown out to right and left field his other 2 times to the plate. Hits this one through the left side of the infield. Base hit. John Delore going to wind the runner around, and Arthur will score, and it's a 2-run ball game.
This is part of the reason why I've never fully understood the shift against Sawyer Strohschneider. He is not necessarily a pull-happy guy, and he's shown twice tonight against the left-handed arm that he is not afraid to just ride that the other way. Shoots this right through that 6-hole on the left side. A little bit of a bobble with Arthur's speed. You can wind the runner, so TCU another run closer to coming all the way back here, and you've still got momentum.
Still only 1 out. Runners at first and second. Strohschneider delivers his 10th run batted at the end of the year. Chase Brunson at the plate. Takes outside, ball 1. Brunson has a base hit. That came in the 4th inning. One for 3. He has struck out, flown out to center his other 2 times to the plate. Now back to your comment, Stroh isn't one of those guys who's pull happy. He'll go the other way if you throw the ball out there. But they do shift on him all the time. There's a shift on here against Brunson as well, swinging foul, and he had a big cut. He was trying to give TCU the lead with that swing. A right-handed shift. You don't see it all that much, but there are 3 infielders on the left side of the infield here. JT Thompson, the second baseman, slides over. You get a look at him there, kind of right behind the runner out at second base, Cole Kramer. That ball hits Brunson. He'll go down to first base and it'll load them up. So the bases are loaded here. As we take another look at the hit by pitch.
You see this slider just coming a little bit uncorked around it. Trying to attack Brunson with secondary stuff, but goes right off of that back thigh. For TCU, you've got a great chance here again to not only just tie this thing up, but take control of the ball game here in the 6th.
Nolan Traeger takes up and in for ball one. Traeger drew a walk with the bases loaded last inning. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. He's flown out twice. Hits this one on the ground. Could be a double play. They go to second for one. No throw to first. A run will score as Kramer crosses home to make it a one-run ball game.
Not hit hard enough for ACU to try and turn the double play here. You'll get that out at second base, but just too many hops. You see JT Thompson have to work to his left towards first base. Makes a good turn out there, but it's another run for TCU. Now you've got your tying run 90 feet away, and you can really open up the offense here. You've got really no reservations now, as just down a run here, still in this middle third of the ball game.
And here comes Rick McCarty once again out of the dugout. The crowd letting him hear it. He's got a couple of righties throwing out in the bullpen with the right-handed, or actually switch hitting, Caius Gargett scheduled to hit. New pitcher coming on. We'll take another timeout. Come back to tell you who it is right after this.
Appearance out of the ACU bullpen this year. 3 innings of work for the right-hander. Opponents hitting an even .333 against him thus far. Rick McCarty looking for some sort of answer. For the first half of the ball game, all Wildcats, Chuck, but these last 2 innings, it's been all TCU. 3 runs in the 5th for the Horned Frogs. 2 more here so far in the 6th as Galvan is on for the left-hander Chase Batten.
Batten ends up going a third of an inning, allows a hit. No runs to this point, but does leave a property on base. He hit a batter just through 8 pitches. Grenay charged with the 2 runs that have come across here in this inning. So he ends up going 2/3 of an inning, allowing 2 earned runs. Does leave, or does still have the runner out at third who would be charged. Actually, that's Strohschneider, so no, he wouldn't be. A lot of coloring on the scorebook tonight, just as it was over the weekend. Well, first and third for TCU with 2 outs. When play resumes, Caius Gargett will be the batter for the Horned Frogs. Strohschneider's over at third. Traeger at first. Gargett will come up. Drew a walk with the bases loaded last inning. You see the runners for the Horned Frogs. He's grounded to short and flown out to right field in his other 2 at-bats. That pitch in the dirt. It'll allow Traeger to go to second, but a good job by Gray to keep that ball in front of him and not allow Strohschneider to advance.
I've seen Gray work really hard behind the plate tonight. A lot of sharp breaking balls that have some hard downward action to them. Those are the ones that can skip away quite a bit sometimes. See him put the chest right over it. This one allows Traeger to get to second base, but you're right, keeps Strohschneider still staying at third.
Almost hit Gargett as he turned out of the way. A 2-0 count here on Caius. Chance to give TCU a lead with a base hit. Frogs have trailed since the first inning when they gave up 3, and now they're going to intentionally walk Gargett to load the bases. They'd rather face the right-hander Brady Dallimore here with the bases loaded. Dallimore has been up 3 times. And he's drawn 3 walks. Takes inside, ball 1.
He's seen a lot of pitches tonight, too. Not a lot that have been in the strike zone, but seen a lot of pitches.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, and he was trying to put 4 on the board with that swing.
That's what I'm talking about. You see the power in that swing, and he's got to connect with one. The same thing we were talking about earlier, muscle memory with pitchers and arm slots and release points. You know, as a freshman coming into the Division I level, you got to just find it one time.
Well, the thing he's done over the last week is taken more pitches like that. We saw him go after a lot of the pitches early that were out of the strike zone, either up or down, but he's been laying off them. So he's getting more and more comfortable with each at bat at this level. And he takes that one inside. And you can see he's just not, he swung hard at that one pitch that he thought might be in the strike zone, but he's walked already 3 times tonight. A walk here forces him a tying run. There's a strike. It's full, 3-2.
And that's one there, maybe caught looking breaking ball. Take a fastball over the heart of the plate, but you live for another pitch here.
The merry-go-round will start as all 3 runners take off on the pitch. An extra base hit will score all 3 of them. Dallimore lifts it foul out of play off the right side.
You can see that. Even that's a pretty good hack at that slider over the center of the plate.
Another 3-2 pitch coming to Brady Dallimore. There go the runners. That pitch hits him, and it'll force in the tying run. Strohschneider touches up, and we're tied at 6.
Well, Galvan had been flirting with this one over a couple of pitches this at bat. You saw a couple of those breaking balls that he just popped up on go right underneath that front elbow of Dallimore. This one on the full count does just enough to clip him, and now it's a brand new ball game. TCU's come all the way back, 6-6, and now you've got numbers out there. Bases loaded, a chance to break this one open in your favor, and it's another 2-out opportunity for the freshman Franco.
He's had a couple over his last 2 at-bats, and he takes strike 1. Struck out with runners on in the 4th, flew out to center to end last inning. Also flew out to center field back in the 2nd. So 0 for 3 for Franco. Strike 2 called. He's just been caught in between, looking for one thing and getting another. In this case, thinking he's going to get off speed, and he's gotten 2 fastballs that looked hittable. Got the breaking ball and took it for strike 3. So Franco strikes out with the bases loaded, but TCU ties things up. They pick up 3 runs on just 1 hit. They leave them loaded. We'll head to the 7th inning. TCU and Abilene Christian tied at 6. Top half of the 7th inning tie ball game. Tanner Seguspie stays in the game for the Horned Frogs. He came on last inning and set the side down in order. He'll face 3, 4, 5 in a Wildcat batting order here as we start the 7th inning. Now, TCU able to come all the way back as the first pitch to Nick Arias misses for ball 1. Had a chance to take their first lead of the night, but Lucas Franco struck out looking to end the inning. Seguspie misses outside. Now, Seguspie's been sitting for quite a while here. Really, really important for him to keep the score right where it is. Foul back to the screen. You know, We saw ACU jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first. They added 3 more in the fourth, but then Walter, Quinn, and Sagusby last inning really settling things down, keeping the score right where it was, and allowing the offense to get something going and tie the game up. And it's 3-1 here to Arias. The last thing you want to do is put the leadoff man on if you can avoid it. Let's see what Sagusby does. Delivers a strike on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's full 3-2. Missed outside, ball 4. So Arias, who is a late addition to this lineup, has now walked twice in this game. And the leadoff man is on for the Wildcats.
As you were just outlining, a frustrating response to the back-to-back 3 spots now. You get a leadoff walk that represents the go-ahead run. Crunch time for both of these teams now. And we're through 2/3 of the ball game as we're into the 7th inning. You don't have a whole lot of room anymore to recover. There's just not that many outs to play with.
Throw over to first base, and Arias back to the bag. Diego Cardenas had a base hit, scored a run back in the first, drew a walk in the third, struck out his last time up. Swings over the top of that pitch, and it's 0-1. Good pitch from Sagusby. 0-2. We talked earlier about the upcoming schedule for the Wildcats for TCU. They'll host Tulane this weekend here at home. Another throw over to first, and then finish up the non-conference season against Kansas a week from tonight. The Jayhawks on their way out to Lubbock to play Texas Tech on the weekend. We'll make a stop here and take on TCU. That's a non-conference game. They do not play each other during the regular season in conference play, so figured they'd schedule that ball game. And then TCU will start the conference slate against Arizona State out in Tempe. Strike 3 call. Good pitch from Sagusby, and he strikes out Cardenas for the first out of the inning. And from that point forward, it's kind of a back and forth, one weekend home, one weekend on the road.
You look at this pitch up in the strike zone. That's kind of where the strike zone's been tonight. It's been up and away to a lot of hitters. I've seen a lot of that type of reaction, but it's one of those that's not a bad pitch to hit in that location.
On the ground, that's going to get through the right side for a base hit. Orion Jones wasting no time, jumps on the first pitch, singles through the right side. Runners at first and second, one out. And the dangerous Brady Gray coming to the plate.
Fastball catches the heart of the plate, and this one just hit hard enough through that right side. No chance for Gargett to make a play at second base.
So now Sagusby's going to have to work hard here against a very dangerous hitter in Brady Gray, who's already doubled twice, leads the team in home runs with 7. They're going to send a pinch runner in here out to second base. Thomas Schneibel will run out at second base.
Running at second base for 17, Thomas. Stable now running at second base.
Stay with him now. Stay with him, Danny.
So Schnabel out at second.
Bobby great. Bobby great.
A little bit more speed. That pitch missed up for ball 1.
Bobby great. Bobby great. Good job, Nick.
Runners at first and second. That was a dangerous pitch. to a really good hitter, but it was foul back. Here's the 1-1 in the dirt. That gets behind Dallimore all the way back to the backstop. Both runners will advance. So on the wild pitch, there are now 2 runners in scoring position.
No, we just talked about this the last half inning with how much work that Brady Gray has done behind the plate. Yeah, and this is a tough one for Dallimore to handle with how much downward spin there is to it. Just that pitch that has so much hard action towards the dirt there. It's got such a chance to just roll up a catcher if you don't completely smother it, and you see that go all the way back to the backstop.
Smothers this one down and in, and it's 3-1, and all of a sudden TCU had to work really hard to tie this ball game up, in danger of giving the lead back to Abilene Christian. Kirk Sarlos looking on from the near side of the TCU dugout. Fouled. That went right into the near side of the Wildcat dugout. So now the count's full, 3-2. So Gooseby trying to battle here and keep this game tied. Swing and a miss, he got him. Dallimore has to pick it up and throw down to first to complete the strikeout with first base open, and he does. Big strikeout for Gooseby.
No, that's really well done all around. For Gooseby, the confidence to continue to go back to that breaking ball even after the wild pitch. And Dallimore, this is what you're talking about. Get your chest right on top of it. He's able to smother it. You get the swing and miss on a perfectly executed pitch and throw a strike down to first base. You can't do it much better if you're pitcher-catcher in that situation for the Horned Frogs. Now you're 1 out away from keeping this game tied.
Good breaking ball for strike 1. Therese Borhope. He's walked, singled, and lined out today. 1 for 2. Gooseby again deals and misses low and inside, and that's some confidence in your catcher to block those pitches.
Yeah, there's some of those as a catcher you can't do anything about, right? There are some that are just so far out there you literally don't have the time to get your body around it and corral it. But you've seen both of these catchers with a lot of breaking balls that have been sharper than most, and we've said that a lot tonight, but there have been a lot of those different arms that have come in and thrown those hard downers that you've seen. Both Dallimore and Gray doing their jobs for their team tonight.
Here's the 1-1 pitch in the dirt again. Dallimore going all the way down to smother that thing with the runner at third base.
You know, when you're playing and you're 8, 9, 10 years old, it's fun to play catcher because you put the gear on, but then you got to go back there and block the stuff like this. A little bit of a different job.
That goes all the way back to the backstop, and it will allow the run to score.
And it hit him.
And actually hit him.
Now that is a massive break for TCU.
Yeah, sure is. As the runner will have to go back to third.
You get another look at this one, and it's the same pitch we've been talking about, that hard downer. I didn't see it. It must have hit him off the back leg potentially. It looked like it skipped so far in front of him, but you know, the immediate reaction there.
Yeah, I don't think it hit him. I think it went right behind him, but it's a break. When he started to run down there, I think the umpire thought, well, he might have gotten hit. Either way, it's a huge break for TCU.
It's a massive break for the Horned Frogs. That as coincidentally timed, that is one of those that as a catcher you can't do anything about that. You've got to just at the very least try and lay out, see if you can't get a glove on it. But
Kirk Sarlos was out to the mound to have a word with Gooseby during the break in the action there with the runner over at first base. But Yeah, that ball was, even if it didn't hit him, it was behind him, and there's no chance for Dallimore to even see where that ball's going. So the base is loaded. The run stays put. Saguspi misses up high for ball one to J.T. Thompson. Well, now if you're Saguspi, you've gotten the break. You've got to come back here and retire Thompson.
And you got to force anywhere. So if you can pitch to just the bottom of the strike zone, see if you can't get a ground ball.
Swing and a miss, big cut. Might have got a piece of it. And it's 1-1. Fouled out of play. A ball and 2 strikes on Thompson. He's 0 for 3. He's lined out twice to left. And hit a comebacker. Line towards left field. Arthur over, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Saguspi comes back and is able to retire the side without giving up a run. We'll head to the 7th inning stretch, tied at 6. His men's basketball team earlier. How about the job Mark Campbell, who threw out the first pitch tonight, has done with the TCU women's basketball team? Back-to-back Big 12 champions.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Undefeated at home over the last couple of seasons, too. What those women have been up to, getting to the fun part of their season. Both the men, as you said, making a charge. Women will see if they can try and replicate last year's success and then jump on top of it.
Pitch missed outside, ball one, and Olivia Miles named both Player of the Year and Newcomer of the Year in the Big 12 today, so some accolades coming the players' way, and well-deserved. That pitch is taken down low for a ball by Preston Gamster. Galvan deals a strike to Gamster. Two-one pitch. Strike called. It's 2-2. New third baseman now, Sam Hardcastle. The senior takes over at third after Arias was pinch run for. Gamster sends this one skyward on the infield. Calling for it is the shortstop, Payne, and he makes the catch. One out. And Jack Arthur will be the batter. Arthur takes up and in, ball one. Arthur 1 for 1, has a single tonight. He's also walked, scored a couple of runs, stolen a base, had a good night so far at the plate. Ahead in the count here, 2-0. Entered the game after Colton Griffin started in left field. 2 balls and a strike on Jack Arthur. TCU's never led in this ball game. They fell behind 3-0 in the first, 6-0 after 4, and then they've scored 6 unanswered, in large part thanks to some walks and hit batters fouled out of play. But you'll take it any way you get it. Frogs have left 10 men on base tonight. They've walked 9 times, and they've been hit a few times as well.
Great job, Noah.
But even though they haven't been able to come up with the big hit with the bases loaded, they've done a nice job at the plate of not swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Arthur goes after one here, though, and he strikes out. Is that the announcer's jinx?
We may have had that a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
In some different areas.
But this has been a game where the breaking ball in the dirt, and particularly the hard, more of a curveball than slider, with some 12-6 type action has been on display a number of times on both sides tonight. We've been talking about the catchers, but that's just a well-executed pitch for Galvan.
Top of the order for TCU, Cole Kramer coming up with 2 outs and the bases empty. And he takes strike 1. Oh for 2 with a couple of walks for Kramer. He's scored twice after drawing those walks in the 5th and in the 6th. Just inside, a ball and a strike. Kramer trying to get something started for TCU with 2 outs. Hits this one well towards right center field, but it's going to hang in the air long enough for the right fielder Jones to run underneath it and make the catch for the final out of the inning. In the 7th, it's 3 up and 3 down for the Horned Frogs. We'll go to the 8th, all tied at 6. The 8th, and they call on the right-hander, Ethan Thomas.
Thomas into the ball game, his 3rd relief appearance for the Horned Frogs, transferring in from University of Hawaii. Last time out was against UCLA in Los Angeles. Gave up 2 hits and 3 runs in 2 1/3 innings of work against that high-powered Bruins offense. But pretty easy task here, Chuck. Got to keep this a 6-6 ball game if you're Ethan Thomas as we get into this 8th inning. It's crunch time here in Fort Worth.
He replaces Tanner Saguspi, who goes 2 innings, allows 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, a walk. Did hit a batter and threw 34 pitches while he was in the game, so the senior exits. And you got to give him credit. He got in some trouble last inning, but he was able to wiggle out of it and keep this game tied. And you're absolutely right. Not much time remaining in this one. And for TCU, you want to give your offense an opportunity to win it late for you. If you're Abilene Christian, you're looking to scratch a run across here and put some pressure on the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, 1 run's going to play really big in either direction here.
Got a quick look at what Regala's done tonight. Takes a strike out of the 9-hole. He's homered a 3-run shot, batting from the right side, his first of the year. That came in the 4th. At the time, it gave Abilene Christian a 6-0 lead. Fouls that one back, and he didn't get cheated on that swing either. Aside from it, he's struck out and bounced back to the box. Both teams using a lot of pitchers tonight. Thomas, the 5th used by the Horned Frogs, and you see this a lot. Did he go around? He did not, according to 3rd base umpire A.J. Wendell. Only count 2-2. In the air, off the end of the bat, center field, Strohschneider makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down to start the 8th. Bring up the top of the order, Zant Payne.
The shortstop, Zant Payne.
Payne's gotten on base twice tonight. He was hit by a pitch back in the 1st, and then singled and got as far as 3rd in the 4th. Aside from that, he's flown out to right, grounded to second. Takes outside, ball one. Cut on and missed. Good fastball, 94 miles an hour up in the strike zone. Tough to get around. Thomas has a good arm. Another fastball, foul back.
You see, that's a true four-seam at 96. And one of the bigger arms in that TCU bullpen is Thomas.
There's the 1-2. Went with the breaking ball but missed. They're leaving the count at 2-2 on Payne. See if Thomas goes back to the fastball here. Just missed off the plate at 96. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Zant Payne. Fought that one off. Again, 96. This one was up and in.
Yeah, not surprised to see a couple of these pitches up at the top of the zone. Mentioned that that's been really kind of where the strikes have been called. That low knee-high strike really has not been there. It's a little counterintuitive. As a pitcher, you're always talking about height working down, but not surprising to see some of these up.
Right down the middle. That one is lined down the left field line. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Payne's going to go to second to throw. In time, they got him. Arthur with a good throw and a nice tag by Gargett to get the runner, trying to stretch it into a double.
Just great work defensively between Jack Arthur and Caius Gargett right here on this throw in. This ball's flared down that left field line. It's a long way to go for Arthur, the left fielder. You see the inside out type of slash swing, and he's all the way on the foul line. Just a quick crow hop, one hop into Gargett, the head first slide. You see Payne go to the backside of second base, and if you can't get that foot to hook on, you run the risk of going past it. Exactly what happened in TCU with the big play defensively.
Huge defensive play by TCU as they keep the go-ahead run out of scoring position. 2 outs, bases empty, swing and a miss by Grant Watkins. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Breaking ball missed down and in. That's a good piece of hitting by Zant Payne. He was late on the fastball, but still able to keep it fair. You see what Watkins has done tonight, 0 for 4. Scored a run all the way back in the first after reaching on a fielder's choice. Since then, he has struck out twice, grounded to Gargett at second. Good fastball, 97. You can see why Kirk Sarlos and Dave Lawn are really high on Ethan Thomas. Live arm from a big righty. Did not get the call on that fastball, and it's full 3-2.
Rears back, gets 97 again. You see, this is just a little low relative to where the zone has been all night tonight. That's a good pitcher's pitch.
Here's a 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul. Thomas out of Alameda, California, 6'5", 255. He's just raring back and firing here. Another 3-2 on the ground and right through the vacated left side of the infield. That's one where you would think with somebody throwing as hard as he is, and we saw the last batter late, that you would not shift. Not sure if this ball would have been in play anyway. It looked like it was through the 5-hole, but.
Yeah, but you just played straight up alignment there. This is probably still shot through that left side, but you know, you talk about Watkins, the power that he has, talked about the home runs. 7 on the season coming into the ball game. It's traditionally been more to the pull side, and this one, yeah, just a little late on it. The velocity pushes it that way.
Swing and a miss by Sam Hardcastle, who came on to play defense last inning. He's 8 for 29 on the year. And they're going to send in another pinch runner here. So Watkins is going to be pinch run for.
And it's interesting with 2 outs and already an 0-1 count to make this move, unless you're planning on stealing the base immediately. You're taking your big power threat in Watkins out of the lineup for a pinch runner in this situation. You would think that Ladisaw is going to be on the move quickly.
Pitch up and in, evens the count of the ball and the strike. Yeah, if you're going to stick him in there, you got to try to have him steal a base to get himself in scoring position. There's Ladisaw taking his lead. Almost threw that one back to the backstop.
Otherwise, you're just betting on a ball and a gap that you can try and score from first base, which is lower probability.
Ladisaw has not attempted a stolen base this year. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. It's not Abilene Christian team that steals a lot of bases, just 6 so far this season. And so far, Ladisaw has stayed put over there. Kramer's holding him on. Here's the 2-2 on the ground. That's going to get through for a base hit. Ladisaw with a big turn elects to hold up, is getting to that ball quickly. Was Strohschneider. Runners at first and second. 3 straight hits here for ACU.
Well, see, and you got the velocity on the fastball. That one's still at 95, but it's just hard and firm over the plate. You see, these are 4-seam fastballs, not a ton of movement on them. So if you can get your foot down as a hitter and you stay on time for it, you're going to have an opportunity to put a good swing on a ball. See, Dave Lawn stalking out to the mound here. Have a conversation with Ethan Thomas.
Lawn talking to the entire infield as well as Thomas. TCU just now getting someone up in the bullpen.
Zach James throwing for the Horned Frogs. Now you're starting to see some of the names repeat themselves over game as you're looking at bullpen roles starting to get more and more established as you go.
Some smiles and laughter all around out there. So Dave Lawn just trying to break up the momentum and maybe take a little bit of the stress out of the situation. As Kirk Zarlos looks on along with John DeLora there. DeLora moving the defense around. Big moment in this ball game. Diego Cardenas at the plate. Swing and a miss.
Go what? There you go.
Runners at first and second, 2 out. You see what Cardenas has done tonight. 1 for 3. Picked up a single all the way back in the first inning. Strike 2 called. 2 good pitches. Now he's taken a little something off these first 2 fastballs. That one only 94. But he's gotten them in good locations.
2 strikes, this will get the juice back up.
foul back. 96.
Now Cardenas went down his last at bat, last inning in the 7th on a backdoor breaking ball that was away from him. It's been a steady dose of heaters from Thomas in this inning. Don't necessarily expect him to go away from it. It looks like he's setting up inside.
Breaking ball, and it hit him. And they're going to say that he went around on the swing before it hit him on the back leg. And that's going to get Rick McCarty out to argue the point with home plate umpire Andrew Fulton. So the inning will come to a close on this controversial play. Down on strikes goes Cardenas. We'll take a look at it as we go to break.
Yeah, you see the swing there, that slider down and in. And it's just effective enough for Ethan Thomas to get the big strikeout. Still tied heading into the bottom half of the 8th inning. Now Whitaker, normally a longer relief type arm, 4th appearance for him out of the bullpen, but 10 2/3 innings already for ACU this season. See the numbers, 13 punch outs to 4 walks as he comes on for Noah Galvan here in the bottom half of the 8th.
He's also a new first baseman.
In the 8th inning offensive fielder, Snyder.
It's Gavin Brzezowski is now in the game over at first base after Watkins was taken out. We both said at that time it's interesting that they took Watkins out with the game tied and didn't immediately try to steal the base. Strohschneider trying to bunt his way on, fouls it.
Yeah, just that situation, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. As there were already 2 outs, it was already an 0-1 count, and you know, that circumstance, you're probably not going to steal a base anyways, and you've got your man that has 7 home runs already on the year, a tie ball game. That we'll see how the next 9 outs shake out for this one.
Strohschneider with a big swing, came up empty. And it's 0-2 on Stroh. He's got a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 4. Both hits singles coming in his last 2 at bats. Lays off that pitch down and away. Whitaker works from the stretch even with the bases empty. Swing and a miss. He got him to chase one out of the strike zone. They throw down the first base to pick up the strikeout. So Strohschneider strikes out to start the bottom half of the 8th inning, and it'll bring up Chase Brunson. Breaking ball for a strike. 76 miles an hour. Chase Brunson in the hole, no balls and a strike. You see what he's done tonight. Had a single. He's been hit by a pitch. He's stolen a base. Hits this one to straightaway center field. Plenty of room, though, for Agala to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th.
I see another one of those tumbling breaking balls. A good piece for Chase Brunson on this one, just deepest part of the ballpark. Regala just has to range back a little bit to his left, make the play. Nothing doing for the Horned Frogs so far here in the 8th.
Nolan Traeger will bat with 2 outs and the bases empty. He takes a strike. Nothing but soft stuff so far from Whitaker. Traeger tonight, 0 for 3. Did reach via the walk in the 5th inning. Was on base again on a fielder's choice. A couple of good takes from Traeger here to run the count to 2-1. Two outs, base is empty. Traeger skies it on the infield. Kozowski makes the catch, and that will do it as the Frogs go quietly here, 3 up and 3 down in the bottom half of the 8th inning. We'll move to the 9th with the score tied at 6. At this point,
even at 6, as you mentioned, but Abilene Christian dominating in the hit category. Brady Gray doing a lot of the damage, a couple of doubles and 3 RBIs. Regala added a 3-run home run back in the 4th inning, but that was all for the Wildcat offense. Sawyer Strohsteiner has a couple of singles and an RBI, but TCU doing it via the walk and hit by pitch. They have not had to come up with a lot of big hits to tie this ball game up, but they've taken advantage of some of the free passes that Wildcat pitching issued in the middle innings.
both teams have left 10 men on base to this point in the ball game as the first pitch from Ethan Thomas is in there for a strike to Ryan Jones. Thomas remains in the game for TCU here as we start the 9th. This is with the breaking ball. Ryan Jones tonight, 1 for 3. Hit by a pitch back in the first, picked up his base hit his last time up. That came in the 7th. Another good breaking ball. So Thomas, who came in firing fastballs, has gone to the soft stuff here to start the 9th. Got him on the fastball. Got it up to 95 after a couple of breaking balls to start the at-bat.
Oh, this is the most confident we've seen the right-hander Ethan Thomas look at the TCU uniform. Mentioned it being his 3rd appearance, but he has let that heater fly here tonight. That's just 95, and see if you can hit it.
Yeah, well, dangerous Brady Gray coming up here with 1 out and the base is empty. And he was a big part of the offense in the early going for these Wildcats. Had a bases clearing double back in the 1st, and then doubled again leading off the 4th. In both of those innings, that's when the Wildcats scored their runs, foul back to the screen. And it's 1-1. That one might have caught a piece of Dallamore's.
Yeah, that one hurts. That's right off the top of that forearm. He's already took a pitch off the elbow too. As a hitter, that's going to be a very numb left arm for Brady Dallimore tomorrow morning.
He just punches himself in the chest protected and says, "Let's go." Tried to steal that one, pulling it back down, but didn't get the call. Well, the count 2-1 now. See Gray tonight hitting .250 on the year. Two count. Another good fastball. Here's the 2-2 from Thomas. Went with the breaking ball and missed, full count. There's the payoff pitch. Back through the middle. Nice play by Franco. Wheels and then throws it wild. ricocheted right off the front of the dugout. Franco made a nice play, hurried to throw. Might have had a little bit more time. But it was a great job just to get to this ball up the middle.
Yeah, this one had base hit written all over it, just up the middle. You see Gray right on it, but Franco doing a great job shifting. You see that front hip, though, just flies open, and he's not able to fully close off. That throw sails with him. So it'll be the go-ahead run on first base here with one out for Abilene Christian.
And they're going to send in another pinch runner here. Again, taking out a big bat. That's
yeah, I don't see
surprising.
it.
Maddox Misi, who was initially in the starting lineup, will come on and pinch run here.
So you see if there's some action.
There's a strike.
But you know, Misi also has not attempted a stolen base yet this year.
And if this game continues on, you've lost like your two big bats. Just missed inside. Again, I guess I could see Rick McCarty doing this if you put somebody in there who's primarily used as a guy to steal bases right away. Maybe get that go-ahead run into scoring position. But Misi has really not even taken that big of a lead. A ball and two strikes.
Yeah, very, very clearly not the approach to come in and try and steal bases. So there's some other motive out there, but
back towards the middle. Fielded by Gargett. Goes to second, but not hit hard enough to turn to. They do get the lead runner on the fielder's choice. Gargett and Franco try to turn a double play, but this ball really didn't have much on it.
yeah, you see him have to reach out there, and that's going to just take some exit velocity off of that ball. Gargett doing a nice job getting to it with Franco making that lead out, but probably not a chance to turn two.
Borjo getting down the line quickly. The umpire's going to get together here. I don't know if they're asking them to take a look at it, but it looked pretty clear that Borjo was past the bag, unless they're going to talk about interference out at second. And that's what they're going to look at, I think.
Well, it's Rick McCarty coming out, so I think the question is whether or not, the only thing he could be asking is if Franco at second base got his foot to the bag, or else he came across it on the back end. It's the only thing I can think of in this instance.
So they're going to take a look at the play out at second base, and you're right, it was McCarthy who asked. See Franco well off the bag there. Question is, does he have the ball in his glove?
You're going to be looking at probably that right foot as it drags across the back.
It looks like it hits the bag right there. The ball's definitely in his glove when he slides that across the back of the base.
Pretty textbook turn at second base there. And you saw McCarty shrug a little bit. You saw McCarty shrug a little bit in there, just try and throw something at the wall, see what sticks.
Here come the umpires after a quick look, so Andrew Fulton's going to let us know. This call's going to stand. He just confirms what we already knew. But you're right, for Rick McCarty, why not? I mean, at this point, you got nothing to lose. See if you can get one to go your way. TCU still not out of the woods, though. Runner at first base, 2 outs. JT Thompson at the plate. That pitch taken for a strike. Now, Borjo over at first base does have some speed. As you see what Thompson's done tonight, 0 for 4. See if they try to get him into scoring position. Not going on this pitch. Did he go around? He did not, says A.J. Wendell over at third base. He was able to hold up.
Yeah, that's close. Get another look at this breaking ball on the inside. See that bat lagging behind. Those hands go pretty far through, though. Very similar to one we saw called the other way.
Pitch up high from Thomas, and it's 2-1. Crowd didn't like the call. To be expected here at Lupton Stadium. But now if you're Thomas, you've just got to bear down and get the batter, swing and a miss, good pitch. That's 2-2. And then hope your team can win it in the bottom half of the ninth. 2-2 pitch coming here to Thompson. That time, he does not go around again. A.J. Wendell's had 3 of these calls over there, and he's not rung up the batter.
Well, let's take one more look at this. Why not?
Well, it looks like he went further around that.
Yeah, I see. I was going to say the opposite way there, that maybe he held it back a bit more, but we found out what the line is.
There goes the runner. This pitch is foul out of play.
Always looks exaggerated when you've got a batter that's carrying those hands way through.
Yes. That's really where the barrel is, not so much the hands. He was able to drag that barrel backwards. There goes the runner again, and again a slap foul out of play.
And that's what that means. When you're dragging the hands through like that and the barrel's lagging behind, as you're seeing with each of these offerings from Thompson, that a good chance, especially with 95 to 96 miles an hour, you're going to have something shot to that left side if it's put in play.
There goes the runner one more time. This one foul straight back over the roof and out of play.
Ninth pitch of the AB coming up here. Doesn't get any bigger. Full count with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Runner getting a workout over at first. There he goes, and again it's fouled off as Thomas can't put away J.T. Thompson. Another 3-2 pitch. There goes the runner, and again he fouls it off.
Now this is just a one-on-one matchup right now between Thomas and Thompson. 11th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Let's see who wins the battle. In the air, down the right field line and deep. This ball hooking, and it's caught. Brunson chasing it down into foul territory, makes the catch on the warning track to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 6. Take a look at the offensive summary for the Horned Frogs to this point. TCU has 6 runs on the board, but just the 5 hits.
Yeah, just the 5 hits, but you see the big number on the bottom. 10 men left on base. Plenty of opportunity for the Horned Frogs to crack a 7th run. You'll have another chance here in the bottom of the 9th inning with a fresh slate.
Caius Gargett will lead things off for the Horned Frogs. He takes a breaking ball for ball 1. From Evan Whitaker, who came on last inning with it and did not allow a hit. Struck out 1. Ball and strike on Gargett.
Yeah, that's way in there.
There's a new catcher in the game. Cannon Sundgren. Gargett got a hanging breaking ball, fouled it straight back. See what Gargette's done tonight. 0 for 2, a couple of walks. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Gargette goes down swinging for the first out here in the bottom half of the ninth.
Well, this is what it's been since Whitaker came into the ballgame. It's a big curveball. And that's really some of that true 12-6 action. You see how much this falls down. Started belt high, ends up just above the dirt behind home plate.
Brady Dallimore will bat. Hits this one to deep right center field. Jones back, track, wall, ball game! Dallimore's first home run as the Horned Frog ends it here on a Tuesday night. Brady Dallimore sends the Frog fans home happy here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Well, we've been waiting for his display of power.
Well, it was just a matter of time for Dallimore, and we've been talking about it all night. He started to show some contact, had a few hits last week, and it was just a matter of time till he got extended on one up. And you see this pitch that's up in the zone and how strong he is to the backside. That wind calming down just enough for him to poke this out to right field, and TCU coming all the way back from down 6.
Now the Horned Frogs able to win this one in the bottom half of the ninth on the walk-off home run by the freshman Brady Dallimore, who gets doused with the bucket of water. Final totals in the game for Abilene Christian: 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left 11 men on base. For the Horned Frogs, 7 runs on 6 hits, no errors. They left 10 men stranded tonight. Ethan Thomas with the win for the Horned Frogs, and Evan Whitaker will take the loss for Abilene Christian. TCU improves to 7-5 on the year, and Abilene Christian is now 6-6. Time of the game is 3 hours and 38 minutes. The Horned Frogs win it tonight as they walk it off here at Lupton Stadium. For Connor Wanhanen, this is Chuck Lamodola saying so long from Fort Worth, where the final score is TCU 7, Abilene Christian 6. All games airing on the ESPN app network or archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.